The Tape Never Lies Network.
The tape never lies. Tape never lies.
Starts now.
The tape never.
That being said, let's send it to our guest. Shout out. Do you have anybody to shout out?
Nah, man. I just want to say thanks to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for having me on. Shout out to y'all for continuing to build this dope network and the literal network of people within it and around it, fans across the world, and players and reporters and everybody else within it. Y'all do a phenomenal job. Just shout out to y'all for what y'all have built and how y'all continue to build it. It's a marvel to watch, and I appreciate whenever y'all have me on.
Somebody clip that. Listen, I can be honest and say I get jealous. I wish I was there to ask some questions and hold people accountable. But knowing that you're there and some of the
Phil
other
already. Larry, shut the fuck up.
That definitely would happen. I can see myself. You gotta be kidding.
The following show is for mature audiences only.
Know this because I've obviously experienced this, but the product that we see on the field, there's hundreds of people behind the scenes that actually allowed that to happen. And I'm talking about groundskeepers, I'm talking about TP, I'm talking about trainers, doctors, right? All these people that now have a new attitude because there's a new sheriff in town, and he doesn't think that that's going to show on the field. I mean, when your president is the first guy in the building and the last guy to leave, you don't think other people are gonna be like, oh shit, that's Kevin's car. Oh, he's still here? Oh, it's 10:30. Okay. And again, and Kevin's not that type of guy. He doesn't look out the window going, 1, 2, okay, he's okay. Right. He's there, okay. He doesn't have time to worry about that shit, right? But it's all the people that are gonna be working for him that now are going to have this new kind of attitude. And when he walks through the hall, I mean, and I think one of the funniest things that he said was, it's okay to say, I want to be a champion. I want to go to the Super Bowl. Like, when was the last time those words were uttered at Hallis Hall, right? If not the Bears, it would have been another team. Okay. Sure. I mean, it just so happens that his first client for the first year was with the Bears, and he spent a whole bunch of time in Chicago, even though his office and home was in Kansas City. But he was there supporting me and attending games and everything else, working at my food drives for my charity and doing a whole bunch of other stuff in Chicago. But it's just ironic. Like the first time that he negotiated a contract, he's replacing that guy. And it's just funny. And so, like, looking at it, we're just like that, like, wow. Like, we had, and he even said it. He was just like, I had no idea that 30 years later, I'd be the president of that organization. I mean, he was on the player side.
Who's QB1 in 2023 for the Bears?
No, he's got it. I'm sold on Justin. Like I'm sold on Justin. I've seen everything I need to see for me to be convinced that he's the guy that can lead you to a Super Bowl. Does he need to get better? Absolutely. Yep. Does he need to be more consistent? Absolutely. Some of those things will be taken care of just by putting more talent around him. The rest of it is on him. Some of it is on the coaching. And I think that he has all the things that you need to do. We've seen him make every throw you need to make. He hasn't done it with consistency for all the reasons I just named, but we've seen him do it. And so he can do those types of things. And he's a great leader. His teammates love him. I think he's a great person to be the face of the franchise. He's not a guy who I foresee getting into a lot of off the field issues or anything like that. So I think he is the guy. That being said, if I'm Ryan Poles right now, like I was saying earlier, I'm driving up the price on this number one pick. And so I'd have called Justin in like, hey, Justin, I'm finna go out here and say I'm not sold on you. You good, but I'm finna go hype up these kids. And I love CJ Stroud and I love Bryce and I love Will Levis too. I love all those kids and I'm blown away by them and I can't wait to get them in the building and get them on their official visits. And I'll be at the steakhouse taking pictures of all them dudes because I want to drive the price up. But in reality, absolutely sold on Justin Fields. And I can't wait to see how he continues to develop once there's more talent around him and he continues to work on his own game.
In terms
I would find out everything I can about Devontae Adams' availability. Like, if you can get that guy, go get him. And I've had this conversation and people talking about, it's going to end up being $30 million a year in a couple. Hey, they ain't paying nobody else. Like, they're not paying nobody else. And for me, you got to be trying to win the Super Bowl before you got to give Justin $250 or $300 if he turns out to be what we hope he is. You're going to have to pay him after 25. And so 23 should be legitimately making the playoffs. 24, 25, you need to be trying to figure out how to win a Super Bowl before you got to pay that kid. And so if during those 2 years you're paying Devontae Adams or you're paying D-Hop, because some people are saying, D-Hop's too old. And it's like, too old for what? He don't got 3 more seasons left?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Like, that's all we asking for.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Can I go trading up?
100.
Yes! What? Oh my God. Here it is! After just recording.
The tape never lies.
Other people drop off, but we still keep.
You'll never know how good your football team's going to be until you play with maximum effort.
Keeping it 100.
Open competition. Take over the North and never give it back.
Smartest man.
My Chicago Bears select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man at Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keeping it 100, never running east to west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the freaking anchor, forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shane's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shane got some haters. But now they're mouth stuck like the Jew and now and laters. Debaters, frauds get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks trolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Jimmy. What's the name? We do when we're breaking down the Bears. Fuck a play or a captain, all of the unchairs. The tape never lies. The truth, you see, we laugh, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a stat nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like Trick Sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man and Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100. Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Justin Fields gets outside the pocket, puts that ball perfectly where only Mooney can get it. 1 point, 2 feet.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest
Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Birds never lie.
Yeah, exactly.
The best Bears show on the planet, bar none. Listen, let's just get to it. We got a great show for you tonight. We got Bears running back Darrynton Evans gonna be on the show. So let's bring on the boys. Shane, the smartest man, Marcel, and Draft Dr. Phil.
There we
Quick,
are.
We gotta
Live.
shaking. We're
Moving
live.
and shaking. I'm glad Claudio's back.
Yeah,
he was back last week.
He was, but yeah.
I had a bounce, but it's all right.
His intro's back to 2020 bad.
Oh no, I didn't hit it. I didn't hit the right.
You were a little late, and I think there was an audio issue or something for like.
It's the background music. It's got to be set at 19. Remember that for next week.
19.
Because Claudio came in hot.
But we're here. We're live.
We're live. I can't believe. I can't
live.
believe we're still talking Bears, Claudio. The season ended, I thought.
I know. No,
what's all this
all year long, dude? What are you talking about? You didn't know that?
Wrote a strongly worded letter to Roger Goodell. What's all this off-season bullshit?
Oh, this off-season is going to be crazy, though.
Oh, it sure is.
I
love how it sucks that we're the first pick, but all the talk is going to be about us. So.
Oh my God! Never in the history of my life has the Bears held the first pick in the draft. So that in itself is a record.
And the last time they had it, in 1947, the guy played for one season and then never played football again.
Well, they almost had it, and they lost a coin flip to the Steelers, who took Terry Bradshaw. So they've literally had it 3 times.
Almost. Could have had it in 98, but we had to go on that.
We're not going to have it. What are the odds that we're going to have it this year?
We won 3 out of 4 to finish the 97 season. And, that late season success, like everybody's been demanding, it spurred us on to multiple Super Bowls. Clearly, that positivity heading into the offseason. And rather than drafting Peyton Manning, we came away with Curtis
When you have your quarterback, you should.
Yeah.
That's the argument.
That's the bad part. I'm not even sure if they would have drafted Peyton if they wouldn't have drafted Ryan Leaf number 1. Oh my God, I would have lost my fucking mind. But
imagine that.
Yeah, welcome to the wonderful world of being a Chicago Bears fan. I look at my son every day, and I'm like, I brainwashed him, and I'm glad I did. But at the same time, I'm like, God damn.
Listen, dude. I'm like, Phil,
I brainwashed
fucking Patriot fan. We would have 6 fucking Super Bowls right now. We'd be living the fucking life.
Yeah.
I brainwashed Claudio.
Yeah.
So
that's how it works.
Him, right?
Yeah. My wife says to me, you got to let him pick his own team. And I'm like, it doesn't work that way. No.
My mother-in-law tried to pull that shit with me. I'm like, do you even understand football? Like, there is so much rooted in it.
They're not choosing their team. They're choosing. They're going to choose my team.
I love when people don't love the game or watch the game tell you what you should do.
Yeah.
Sorry, mother-in-law. But listen, I'm fired up tonight because we got a guy jumping on the airwaves with us that has some perspective on this football team. He would be equivalent to Adam Schefter, an insider, because he's actually inside the building. I got to shake his hand real quick. I don't even think he remembers, probably because he was so busy. But I'm excited to have him on the show tonight. But we intro this guy the way we do on TTNL, the Tape Never Lies Network, the special way. And if you don't know him, he's from Upset University. That's what I call him. upset you. No one believes, and then they go out there and make you believe. They're like the Rocky Balboa of college football. Let's get them out here. Number 21 in your program, number 1 in TTNL's offseason heart. He's Darrynton Evans, running back.
This former Barracuda turned Mountaineer got his chance and made the most of it at Appalachian State as the 2018 Sun Belt Conference Championship game MVP. He took that momentum into 2019, where he garnered Offensive Player of the Year honors in the SBC, and followed that up defending his championship game MVP honor with some more hardware as the 2019 New Orleans Bowl MVP. The 93rd overall selection and the 2020 NFL Draft by the Tennessee Titans. He battled nagging injuries until Ryan Poles and your Chicago Bears claimed him during the 2022 offseason. Bears fans, TTNL fans, get up out your seats and give it up for this Twitch superstar and running back for your Chicago Bears. He's Darrynton Evans.
Yeah.
There he
is.
What's good?
What's going on, man?
Nothing, man. Look, that intro got me hype over here.
Yeah, I'll send it. I'm the guy you've been talking to back and forth on the DMs, Darrynton. So I have a copy of that, and I'll make sure you get it. So
appreciate it.
Make your wife play that every time you walk into the house.
Right.
You know, that's your intro.
Every time you start streaming, you should play that.
Look, I might have to, for real. I might have to.
Because that gets me hyped watching you. And I think that's where we should start. Rocky Balboa University.
Mm-hmm.
You guys obviously thrust onto the scene I live on the East Coast as a Bears fan and analyst here, and so does Shane. And I remember App State upsetting Michigan in a big way and shocked the world. It kept playing on Sports Center and everything. And you coming out of high school, did that have like a reaction for you to go there? Is that how it's happened? How did it go?
Man, nah, not really. Crazy part is I didn't even really know I knew of App State, but I didn't really know all that stuff. Because when that happened in 2007, I was still a little kid. I was like 7, 8 years old. You know, growing up in Florida, really the only teams I paid attention to was Florida State, and Miami. So I really wasn't too into, App State upset Michigan until, they started recruiting me. Then, they start mentioning it. You take your visit, all the fans talking about some, we play these big name schools coming up. Hopefully we're trying to do what we did in 2007. Then you go back and look and you're like, man, they won 3 national championships back to back, knocked off a Power 5 team when they were still FCS. And it's like, they got a lot of tradition here.
That's awesome. I listened to Daniel Jeremiah. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. You got to be familiar with DJ.
My guy.
Yeah. He's a great dude, but he's always talking about the good old days, and he's always got to get his love in there for his school. So that's awesome. But I see you got a guy over your shoulder there, Darren, number 41, a teammate, and Phil and I are in agreement here. We considered him one of the bigger underrated signings for the Bears. Talk about your teammate there a little bit.
Look, man, like Carr's a hell of a dude, man. He's hard worker, comes in every day, gives it his all, man. Like what you see is what you get. Great person. You know what I'm saying? He's about his business. I was blessed enough to, when I got drafted to Tennessee, play with him for 2 years there, and then come up here all season. I get picked up, and then I get a call from him saying, look, Chicago offered me, they want me to come in, and I'm kind of thinking about coming. So, when he finally made that transition here, man, it was awesome to be able to play him for a 3rd year in a row. And we said it like finishing up this year. It was like, man, like what are the odds we get to, leave one team, go to another team, play with each other, and just keep this thing going? Because our friendship has grown so much since I got drafted. Like he was the first person that reached out to me once I got drafted from Tennessee. So
that's awesome.
that friendship there is definitely gonna hold true.
Now, give me some inside skinny here. I get fired up with Getsy because I think as an offensive coordinator, to not give 35 the ball, not once. You didn't catch a pass, you didn't get a screen or a dive. That to me is a disservice as an OC, in my opinion, because I'm a big believer in Kari Blazinga. And not that you have to spoil anything, but I mean, this dude, I believe, could do a hell of a lot more than just be the wing and come down and crack or fill and get on these ends. And I mean, he's blocking better than some of the tight ends. I won't name names on the roster. So what this kid could do, in your opinion, more for the Chicago Bears?
I mean, shoot, I've been around him for 3 years, man. I know what he can do, and it's crazy enough that the rest of the NFL has seen only bits and spurts of what he actually can do, man. Like a lot of people don't understand. Like my first time seeing Carr was in the bowl game when Vandy played Baylor. I didn't know who it was, but all I know is this dude was taking off against Baylor at running back.
Right.
And then I get to Tennessee, and I'm like, what year you graduated from Vandy? He telling me, he's like, yeah. I was like, wait, that was you I saw? Running on runs and all this crazy stuff. And so it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got a running back that's big enough to play fullback, but actually, you know what I'm saying, can do a lot more, man. He can run the ball, he can catch the ball, he can block. He does a lot of good things to where you can use him in different spots in your offense. So, hopefully his role grows a little bit more. I'm not the offensive coordinator, so I'm not.
I know. I don't want to get you in trouble, but
you ain't getting me in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the offensive coordinator, so
Bears fans found out who he was real quick when he was in Tennessee on a 3rd and 26. And he went like 64 out of 3rd and 26.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy. But talk about your drafted number 93 overall. I mean, that in and of itself is no joke, and it doesn't work out in Tennessee. I know you battled some nagging injuries, and that's a big part of the NFL. You know, they always say you can't make the club in the tub, but you come to Chicago, and Ryan Poles' whole new regime here. Talk about the differences, like when you're in Tennessee and then you come. I mean, Chicago, you get to the bright lights, big city, and everybody thinks about MJ and the Bulls. It doesn't matter. You can win 6 titles in 8 years. It's still you guys win 3 games. It's still a Chicago Bears town. Talk about the difference from going to Nashville and then you're a member of the Chicago Bears.
Man, I say it all the time. Everybody from all my homeboys still that play for Tennessee ask me. I'm like, bro, when I first got up here, it's like you understand that the whole city of Chicago is a sports town. Like, regardless if you're winning, regardless if you're losing, that stadium's going to be packed. Chicago Bulls game, they show mad love. I went to the Blackhawks game. They show mad love. I went to the Chicago Sky game. They show mad, like, no matter where you go, you're going to have fans. You're going to have everybody there supporting you. And it's like in Tennessee, when I was there, we were winning. So people were showing up, and then say we're 10 and whatever, and then we lose to a 3 and something Jets team. I believe we did that. And then we lost to Houston one year. It's like you lose to a team you're not supposed to lose to, quote unquote, and then people stop coming to games.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, we were here. We played Buffalo in negative 34-degree wind chill, and the stadium is still full. I'm sitting here talking to Carr. I'm like, bro, this is different. He was like, yeah, we were in Nashville. Like, there would be nobody in here. It would look like a COVID game where it's only a couple thousand out here. But like, nah, man.
Our producer was there, and he was wearing a pink rabbit suit.
Right.
Yeah, from the Christmas story.
He was there supporting y'all on that.
Yep.
Yeah, Chicago fans, they go hard, man. Like, I would say that's probably just the main difference from the city. It's not necessarily the teams itself. It's just like there's more here. There's a lot more here in the city of Chicago. And shoot, man, I'm very appreciative to be here and be a part of being a part of this city and being able to experience that, because everybody can't say they have.
So here you are in this backfield. Let's Tennessee.
Yeah.
You coming out of college. I mean, you ran a 4.39, correct?
Yeah. I ran at the combine. I ran 4.41. I had the fastest 40 time until Jonathan Taylor came and got that. We still talk about that, but yeah, I would have had the fastest time.
That's still scooting though, man. Holy.
Yeah.
We would say I played at Hofstra. I still remember our strength and conditioning coach. Anybody running under 4.4 is world-class speed.
Yeah.
World-class speed. And I had a couple teammates that did, and I just watched them run it. And I'm like, holy, of course I didn't run that. But anyway, to see your speed and going over to Tennessee, how frustrating, honestly, is it for you? You know, they draft you the 93rd pick in the 3rd round. Obviously, you have a future there, and it doesn't work out. The injury bug, I know you've gone over this 100,000 times in your head, but you know, we keep it 100 here, thus the name of the show. What's your thoughts on that? How motivated are you?
I mean, shoot, I you know what I'm saying, Tennessee picking me up in the draft was a blessing. Was life-changing, an experience I'll never forget. You know, but you know, moving forward from there, getting released from them was probably the best thing for me. Okay. You know, just being able to experience another team, see what it's like, grow as a player. Yeah, it's probably the best thing for me. I had to mature quick, because you know, coming in, I came in the COVID year, so we didn't have OTAs as rookies. We didn't have a full, you know what I'm saying, season. We had a short preseason, like 2 weeks of camp, and then we went to games. So literally, I remember I got thrown straight into the fire as soon as I got there. I didn't have months like all these other rookies that come in have. So that was a crazy part, you know what I'm saying, a crazy part of my life. But at the same time, I'm thankful for it, to where once that season went over, to get a full offseason the next year, and then get a full offseason this year, to where I can actually see, like, dang, all right, this is normally how it is. I understand how I can grow now, different areas of where I'm, you know what I'm saying, I feel like I can get better at, different areas where I was struggling at, or, you know what I'm saying, just making things better on my part, I can sharpen up. So, but then with the injury thing, man, I feel like that just happens. You know what I'm saying? I can't control that. You know, they tried to label me as a injured player. I'm always hurt, but you know, coming here, had a full healthy season. And then, you know, looking back on it, if you really look at the last 3 years for Tennessee, look at their injury report. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the longest sheets in NFL history, back-to-back years, at least now.
Right.
It's like, you know, you can't really put that label on a person when it's not the person. So all the injury stuff, man, I put all that stuff behind me. I'm past that. I'm just ready to move forward and make some plays. That's it.
Yeah. So you move forward, you come to Chicago, Darrynton, and just want to talk about kind of the, you know, this season, 3 wins, and the whole thing that goes into that, new coaching staff, new regime. What is it like in the locker room under Flus? You know, you guys finished the year with 10 straight losses, and what is this coaching staff like to keep you guys motivated and to keep that locker room tight? Speak on the coaching staff and what they were like during that losing streak to keep you guys, you know, keep your minds right, and the hits philosophy. Just talk on that a little bit.
Yeah, I would say the main thing is just being a pro. You know, everything ain't gonna always go your way.
Yep.
It's a week to week league. Like literally, you gotta look at everything that way. You're up 1 week, you're down 1 week. Everything ain't gonna always be up. It's just how you respond to it. So even if you win, you still gotta respond the next week and try and win again. If you lose, you gotta come back the next week and try and get a win. You know, unfortunately, we didn't end up in that win column a lot this year. You know, it's definitely different for me coming from high school, college of winning, Tennessee winning, than here. Like, this is the first time I've experienced losing ever. So it's definitely different. But at that same time, it's not really the coach's job to keep you motivated. You got to keep yourself motivated. This is our job. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we're the ones out there.
How hard is that?
It's not hard at all. Like, this is what you know what I'm saying? This is what you put your all into. When you put your all into something, you know what I'm saying? Like, it may not be then and there, but it's a long-term play with everything. It's a long season. So that's just like having one bad game out of 17 games. You can't let that one bad game, you know what I'm saying, hold you down for the rest of the season. So even look at this like for the coaches with their coaching career, players with our careers, man, like you can't just let one season define you and how you gonna move forward for the next one. So I looked at this whole year, you know, for the opportunities I got. You know, I wasn't able to play all 17 games, but I made sure every opportunity I got when I was out there that look, I'm going to put my best foot forward, show these folks I deserve to be here. I deserve to be playing. I deserve to have a jersey and do what I got to do. And it's not necessarily just for this team. It's for all 31 other teams. And that's really what's supposed to motivate the player. You know what I'm saying? It's a job interview every time you're out there.
That says a lot about you because listen, in every job, there's people surrounding you. And football is a whole different animal because it's such a team game. Yep. So the support of the offensive line is going to affect Darrynton Evans and David Montgomery. It's just that's football, and it's going to affect Justin, so on and so forth. So for you to be able to be a professional and put it into that perspective says a hell of a lot about you and speaking the truth and keeping it 100 here on the show that keeps it 100. That really means a lot to me. I look at you as a scout and I see a guy playing it exactly how you spoke. Because I'll be honest, I didn't know what Darrynton Evans was going to bring to the Bears. Now my partner here was all excited about you. Yeah, watch this kid. I go, I'll believe it when I see it because I love the kid coming out. He's got great speed. Can he stay healthy? That knock is going to be on you. And then to see you run inside and outside zone with a fearlessness and you catching the football effortlessly, it just bothered me. And I'll say it for you that Ebner got more reps than you that I felt deserved it. Even as a kick returner, you deserve to be out there when Velus put Velus over there, put you over here. I just really became a fan of you, and not saying this because you're on the show right now. I just feel like that professional attitude that you have is showing up on tape now. Now, my question is, you go into this final meeting the day after the season do you sit down with Ryan Poles and Eberflus? And how do they talk to you about this future here?
I mean, you sit down with everybody. You go over the things that, you know what I'm saying, you did positive during the year. You go over the things you can work on during the year. And, just the plans moving forward. Just hopefully, you know what I'm saying, everybody can figure out what things are going moving forward. You know, at this point for me, I really don't know. I don't know my situation. I don't know the next man sitting next to me situation. I'm just here just to, you know what I'm saying, and until my number's called, whether it's here or somewhere else, that's just how you got to go about things.
Darrynton, we've had a lot of players on over the years, and one, Josh Woods is a linebacker for the Detroit Lions. Now, one thing, you know, the Bears have struggled for a long time, struggled at the quarterback position. And one thing that I asked him, I guess it would be about 3-4 years ago at this point, I asked him who was the leader, and he would always point out a guy on defense. And I said, all right, who's the leader on offense? And he sat there and scratched his chin for about 2 minutes. I'm like, oof, thinking to myself, that's not good. You know, if you're thinking about it that much. So I want to ask you the same question. Who is the leader on the Chicago Bears offense?
Shoot, on offense, you got a couple dudes. You got Justin, you got David, you had Lucas when he was, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing. Yeah, I would say definitely those three are probably the top three. And then shoot, you got Kari, you got Cole. It's really a group effort. It's hard to just pick somebody out because, you know, some weeks, some days, you know, somebody else is more vocal. Everybody leads in different ways. Me, I'm not really a vocal kind of guy. I'm more of I'm gonna show you and I'm gonna do it. I don't really like talking too much. But you know, other guys are, hey, yo, let's go, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Pick it up. Me, I'm just gonna go out there, do what I gotta do. And if you choose to come, you choose to come. If you don't, you don't. But you know, some dudes just lead different. So it's hard to just pick a guy because one guy talks more than somebody else, but
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? You can just see by the actions of others that they are leaders and have leader traits in them.
You talk about David Montgomery. I'm big fan of David and
Me
the
too.
effort he puts out there.
Yeah, me too.
Obviously, he's been a warrior for this football team, and I know he takes a lot of pride in what he does. You look at him, you guys are free agents. So the feeling of that, what beyond of what you put on tape do the Bears get in a player like David? And then talk about yourself too.
Should I say for both, you get 2 all-around backs, can do everything you need to get done. Run the ball on first, second down. You know, you got play pass, pick up a block, catch the ball in third down, make something happen, block on third down, you know what I'm saying, with protection. You just got an all-around back with either guy you pick. I feel like that ruled our whole room, top to bottom. Like, honestly, for me, it was never who's the first string, second string, third string back in our room. I just feel like everybody plays hard, everybody plays well enough to where if one person goes down, the next man can keep the train rolling without any mishaps, or our offensive coordinator feeling like, all right, we can't call this play, or he's not ready for that. I feel like our whole room, you throw anybody in on any play, you'll get the same amount of production, if not more, with the next person.
If you were to say, this is what I do the best, and what would you say is the thing you need to work on the most? So give me the best trait in your mind and the one I got to get better at this shit, and I'm going to work on it.
Yeah, I would say the best thing is make plays, be explosive. That's what I hone in on. That's something that everybody can't do. If we need a big play made or we need an explosive play made, I'm trying to be that guy. I played a handful of games and had 2 explosives with limited touches. So that's the one thing I kind of hone in on, just to show teams that, hey, if you need a play made, call my number. I can make this thing happen. Thing I need to work on, for me, it ain't necessarily something I need to work on, but it's something I'm working on this offseason. It's just being more versatile. Like I've already played college. I played receiver in college. I played running back in college, but I'm about to tap into that a lot more, just so, you know what I'm saying, people can't say no. Just don't give people option to say no.
You can tell the fans, man, you're making plays at cornerback in high school. I saw those clips.
A lot of people don't even know when I was coming out getting recruited, I was getting recruited for DB.
Yeah.
And then, my senior year of high school, we got a new head coach, and he didn't like people playing both ways. So I only played offense because our defense was good enough. So a lot of teams that was looking at me in college, coming out of high school, stopped talking to me because I didn't have no defensive film my senior year. App State, when they offered me for DB. I ended up signing as an athlete. So I was playing, you know what I'm saying? I signed as an athlete. They were like, we don't know where we're going to push you, but we need you.
Yeah.
And then I got conference and bowl game rings with receiver, running back on both split. I don't have a position.
I was on your Twitch channel there the other night when you were playing your high school clips. So that was fun. I was telling Phil, I'm like, you got to see this dude out there making plays. It was great. But you brought up Justin and just the fact that you bring up a quarterback in Chicago as a leader, maybe not for you so much, but as somebody that's been around the Bears my entire life, it's a huge deal because it's been a black hole at that position. Talk about Justin and what you saw and like what you think he can be. He's done stuff this year. It's crazy. Yeah,
sky's the limit, man. I'd be in practice just talk. I'm like, bro, did he really just do that? Like he's not supposed to be doing what he's doing, and then we get to the game and it's like he's doing it again. I'm like, all right, I'm not even surprised. Like, all the fans and everybody catching clips of the run versus Detroit or the runs versus Miami, different things, and everybody else on the sidelines just like, that's normal. We've seen it before.
Yeah.
So I would say with him, man, the sky's the limit, bro. I'm excited to watch Justin grow as a player. His future is gonna be crazy. Look, if I'm not the first to say it, which I'm probably not the first to say it, I just want to be here early to tell y'all, man, sky's the limit. That boy Justin is special. I promise.
That's the mic. Hey, that's what's important.
That's
Phil
huge.
is talking about calling you an insider. You're there.
Yeah.
Who better to talk to about it? I see, we're heading into the off season. You've been through all this pre-draft process and all this craziness, and you turn on Sports Center and they're like, oh, the Bears should trade Justin and draft Bryce. I'm like, what? It's just
I don't even see none of that. I don't watch TV.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well,
you're just as well. You're smart, man, because it's just for clicks and people to get people talking. It's crazy,
Well, before you came on, the Bears have never held the first round pick. Well, they did in 1947.
The number one overall pick?
Yes.
Yeah,
the number one overall pick. So they've never held it. So here is a different time, a different era. I've been a Bears fan since third grade. So because of Walter Payton. That's my idol. And that's my love of the game went to loyalty to the Bears. So to never in my lifetime see the first overall pick, they have to do their due diligence. But it's guys like you, and I'm going to put you in a situation now. You're in the huddle. It's 4th and 2. And Justin Fields, you look into that person's eyes. I mean, you've played this game your whole life. You know what I'm talking about. There's a certain vibe that I trust this guy 100% that we're going to get this on his shoulders. You're the endorser of this for Bears fans right now. How much should they believe in Justin Fields?
Look, you said the situation 4th and 2, game on the line.
Game on the line.
Like, my thought process is, give me the ball. If I ain't getting it, shoot, I'm okay with Justin getting it. You know what I'm saying? Look, if the ball ain't in my hands, look. If number one got it in his hands, look, I'm cool with that too. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain things. Like, he's just special, man. Like, as many times as this year, we were up, then we're down. We need a play, and then boom, he breaks off a 60-yarder, breaks off something crazy throw, crazy run. I'm like, yeah, we needed that. Like. No, look, hey, keep it going. And then, say we mess around getting the same situation again a little bit later. We need it. He makes a play. So, I can endorse that, man. Justin is special. And y'all should be excited, man. Y'all should be excited.
Go to the opposite end of the spectrum. And this, like I said, I'm not trying to bag on the kid, but I'm just talking in terms of explosives and stuff like that. You see a guy like Velus Jones come in and kind of struggle to find his role. And then, he's out there, in the return game and in limited reps and putting the ball on the turf. As a teammate, are you guys close? And how do you handle that when you see a guy that goes out there and you know what he wants, but then he's struggling to get there and putting the ball down? And just talk about, from a teammate's perspective, seeing a guy go through that.
I mean, it was easy for me. I've been in that situation, not necessarily that situation, but I've been in a situation where, outside looking in, fans may not be too overly hyped about you in the moment. And then once you start making plays, they're all crazy about you. So, man, I've been talking to Velus all year. Like, I've probably been one of the main people in the series. Like, bro, these tables gonna turn soon, so I would even trip off of anything that's going on. I would say my friendship with Velus kind of extends a little bit more past the Bears because we both train at the same facility. So when he was doing his pre-draft prep, I was actually around him to be able to, see him do his 40 work, his route running, his catching, different things like that. So it kind of started there. Then once we got on the same team, I was like, look, I'm gonna take this guy under my wing because I know as a rookie, I didn't really have that in the offseason type stuff because I didn't have one. So I was like, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna give him everything I know from a vet perspective. So, this rookie year is gonna have ups, it's gonna have downs, but I'm gonna just try and make sure his emotions is steady and straight because you don't wanna get too high, you don't want to get too low. And then, with my college coach told me, my last college coach told me, he told our team this: the crowd will kill you. The same crowd that, screams for you and praise you will be the same crowd that kills you later on when something doesn't go their way. So you just got to kind of exit those things out your mind and just live day to day and just keep everything steady. And that's literally all I preach to them all year. Drop a punt, cool. Next play, go make a play. I bet you go score a touchdown. They forget about that. You feel me?
Yep.
Same thing with a quarterback. You throw a pick, all right. You go make a crazy play. I bet they go forget about that. You go win us the game. I bet they forget about it.
Absolutely,
so it's give and take with everything.
Exactly. It's the next play mentality anyway. That's how you got to be bred. You as a corner knew that. You was transitioning him in the athlete, then to kick returner, running back in the NFL. I mean, a lot of people don't realize the amount of pressure that is. I think the evolution of the running back position is one with which it gets me so frustrated, even with my partner here. As a former running back myself, I just know the beating and the pounding and the effort that you have to put on your body to do it. Now we're talking about, hey, running back, you could just draft one in the third. We could just replace David. We could just replace.
It sounds easy.
It sounds easy for a lot of these people, but it's not. And the reality of the good, the bad, and the ugly reeks its head. And when we talk about, when you look at you here, is this a place that you want to come back to? Is the competition in that room fair? I mean, and can you thrive in this offense as the running back that you are? And I don't mince my words. It offends a lot of people all the time, and 90% of people love it because I just don't play this politics. I hate it in football. That's where organizations sink. I don't give a fuck if he was the third pick in the draft or the 63rd or the 103rd. The guy that's the best should always play. And that's the coaches and the GM's job to put their biases and their feelings aside. You're right by playing the best because that's going to give you the chance to win. Do you feel like this is a place for you going forward?
Shoot, I would love to be here. You know, I feel like I can thrive anywhere. And, you know, especially with the system here, it's the same system I've been in my whole life. In college, I went to Appalachian State. All we ran was outside zone. That's it. That's the reason why Tennessee drafted me. That's the reason why all these teams that run outside zone during the pre-draft process were talking to me. I was a running back in my draft class that ran the most outside zones out of everybody. So I can thrive in this. I eat, breathe, and sleep outside zone. Like that's easy. I can do that in my sleep. It's just for me, it's just a simple chance to get an opportunity. I went to Tennessee. You know, you got Mr. 2K, Derrick Henry, respectfully. Right. There's not one coach in the NFL, not one fan, not one GM that's going to say, take Derrick out for anybody. He ran for
pre-draft, they were calling him a fucking fullback. And your boy here was fight. This is the number one back in that fucking draft.
We're gonna kill this. We're gonna kill this. I say this all the time, bro. People who are experts, NFL experts on how to scout stuff, bro, like you can't be an expert in something you've never done. A surgeon, a brain surgeon is an expert in brain surgery.
Absolutely.
Just because I watch a lot of brain surgeries and I watch, you feel me? And I watch doctor shows about people performing brain surgery. That does not make me an expert in saying who can and with who does and does not have the qualities to be a brain surgeon. Only a brain surgeon can do that. So when you hear people with the pre-draft process talk about what guys can and can't do, or they struggle with this or they struggle with that, I hate hearing that crap because even with a lot of guys, it's just like in college, they may not have had to do something. Exactly. That doesn't mean they can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
It's
just like you're saying here. Now he ran outside zone all the time. Can he run counter?
Yeah.
Can he catch the ball?
And you got to understand, man, we all professional athletes. We all here for a reason. Like, I just hate hearing people say, "Oh, this player sucks. He shouldn't." Like, dude, he's one of the top premier athletes in the world. Like, what are you talking about? Like, But yeah, all that we don't feed in that stuff. That stuff there just I don't know. I had to say that. My bad.
Well,
Can we
I
can we
want
agree
you
that
to.
Ezekiel Elliott's not a good center though, Darrynton? After that,
Center?
play the other right.
Nah, that boy need a ball in his hands.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he needs a ball in his hands. I don't know what they was doing.
that was crazy for sure. But hey, if I had to take your name out of this, Darrynton, and you look at the Chicago Bears from 2022 and look at anybody in that locker room, maybe somebody that's not well known, and you look at him and you're like, wow, that dude.
Oh, my question.
That dude is
legit.
He just needs a chance, and he's gonna be something.
Let me think.
You can't use your own name.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let me think. I'll say Kari.
Kari?
Blazing.
I'm gonna throw Kari on there, man. Kari, just give Kari a chance to you know what I'm saying, do what he gotta do.
Yeah.
That's it.
What about on the other side of the ball?
On the other side of the ball, man. Ooh, they got a lot. Ooh. Oh man. I don't know. I feel like on defense, a lot of guys got shuffled around due to injuries and different things. So I feel like most of them they kind of got they chance. AJ Thomas. I feel like AJ Thomas is a guy, a young rook from last year, man. He didn't really get too much burn. They had him on the active squad later in the season, but
UDFA. Yep.
Dude smart, knows ball. Always doing the right thing, always around the ball, making the right plays. So I would say AJ Thomas on the other side.
That's a name to watch. He's the insider.
Yeah.
He's the insider.
Yeah.
Number 21. If you're just tuning in, you are listening live to Bears running back number 21, Darrynton Evans, formerly of App State, by way of Tennessee into Chicago, where I will say this. You have proven to me that you're somebody I think is a fabric player to this football team that should be brought back, going in there with opportunities. Again, I just hope the politics stay out of this with this guy. I have to be excited about the new president coming into this organization and to see where the direction of this football team is. No one can endorse a quarterback more than a running back. I've always said that. Receivers get kind of touchy-feely, arrogant, whatever. But a running back knows, listen, if you just tuned in, you missed what Darrynton had to say about Justin Fields. It's probably the best quote. It should be out there on social media right now. I'm dead ass serious. The producers aren't doing their jobs if it's not, Jackal. Darrynton, when you look at you weren't here last year, but the whole embodiment of this culture and Coach Eberflus, his demeanor, but is there an energy level of accountability to this loafing process? Is everybody held the same way? That just me personally, I think it's so important to build off that, because it's such a prerequisite to what he was bringing as a coach. Is that how this is handled throughout the season?
You're saying is everybody on our team held accountable the same, or compared to the year before?
No, just everybody on this team.
Yeah,
watching the tape.
At the end of the day, everybody's expected to do your job.
Yeah.
Yeah, you expect to do your job to the best of your abilities, and if you're not doing your job, then next man up.
Is there a loaf? Like, yo, you loafed here, you get a piece of paper? How do they handle that? Is that just a sit down with?
No, it's in front of the whole team. It's in front of the whole team.
Perfect. That's what I want. Because I will tell you, the last staff, we had David and Ryan Nall, who was a running back here on, and Ryan kind of broke the news that Nagy never watched the tape in front of the whole team in front of anybody and accountable.
That's
like, I've never heard of such a thing. I never heard of such a thing. Anyway, when you look at your experience in the NFL, is there one thing you take away that you say is different than, or is it just you playing the game of football?
I feel like it's all the same. A lot of people talk about how the game speeds up.
Yeah.
And I really want to say the game. It's just about knowing. As long as you know what you're doing, the game is gonna be the game. It's when you don't know what you're doing is when everything is flying around. So like my rookie year when I first came in, no OTAs, no nothing, and then having a week and a half to go from reading play calls to hearing them and going out there and doing it. I feel like that's the hardest thing of being able to hear something and then doing it versus if you just show me, hey, this is the play, what you got on this, that's easy. But when you can't see that and you got to hear it and then different quarterbacks say it at different paces and everything's a different process. So it's just really getting the process down with everything. And once you understand your process of how you are as a player, how you learn, how you know what I'm saying, put things together, then it's easy. I ain't say easy, but it's football again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're not in school no more.
So Darrynton, you've been super gracious with your time, and I know you got a head coach there in your house. You don't want to piss her off, so we want to.
Yeah, definitely got to help the wifey.
Yeah, so we appreciate you coming on, man. And probably at some point in the future, I'm going to hit you up again. We'll get you back on here.
Hey, look, I'm down to come back on, man. You know, we're about to head out of town to handle some stuff. Shoot, just message me, man. I'm always open. I love doing stuff like this.
Throw out a quick promo for your Twitch channel, though, because I know that's a big part of what you do.
Look, man, y'all make sure y'all follow me on Twitch at It's Live, YouTube as well, Darrynton Evans, or at It's Live, man. I'm doing a lot of good stuff, man. I'm doing some community work. Instead of doing community service, I do it for the gaming community. I got a passion for creating content. So actually this App State mini helmet, I just signed this bad boy. I'm gonna be giving this out soon. Nice. I got some Bears jerseys I'm giving out that are signed. Nice. Some App State stuff that's signed. Y'all see these jerseys back here? These are all the guys. I got more jerseys upstairs. I just haven't had time to hang up. But yeah, man, everything's at It's Live with 3 E's. Follow that. Message me. I'm one of the pretty most active guys in the NFL when it comes to social media and content. So, man, I appreciate y'all for having me, bro. This is something I love to do, and look, I can't wait till the next time.
Yeah,
maybe we'll get you and your boy Valus on here at the same time. And we'll have a party on here because I know there's a lot of people that want to talk.
We got to get Blazing Game on
too.
here.
Yeah,
look, I'll reach out to both of them for you. I'm sure Kari got his own podcast as well, so he can come on here.
Yeah, we'll get him on here, but I don't want to get you in trouble with the boss over there, dude. So I'll send you. I'll DM you over that intro so you can get that. Have Alexa play that shit when you come in the house every day.
Gotcha. And then look, whenever y'all post the VOD of this, the rerun of this, man, I'm gonna make sure I post it out as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll get you the link for that.
Do you have time for a station ID? Can we get one of those quick?
What's that?
That's just you saying, yo, this is Darrynton Evans. I'm keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network.
Gotcha.
This way we could throw it up in the promo.
It took Demo 6 takes though, Darrynton.
Hey, look, you gotta think. I do this all the time. Me talking in front of a camera, I do this all the time, and I drop a YouTube video every other day.
Isolate him, Phil, and count him down.
There he is. I can count you down. So let me give him the script again. I'm not writing this out.
Watch the one take. I don't even need it. You good? Let's go. I got it.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at this. Give him a better background there than that cluster, real quick.
Yeah,
that. There you go.
That's fire.
3, 2, 1.
What's good, everybody? This is Darrynton Evans, keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies, man. Make sure y'all tap in, tune in. You do not want to miss them. Keeping it 100 on everything Bears.
Damn.
Let's go. I told you.
I thought
Demo just got replaced. I'm
telling y'all, man. I get a lot of practice in with the, streaming on Twitch, man. You kind of get used to talking to people, doing things, and then shoot the YouTube stuff. Now, man, it's starting to pop, and I'm actually making something out of it, man. And just once football's over, don't be surprised if that thing starts taking off, because I can actually be focused on it.
We're gonna push for you because listen, there's always room for great content, and we're not assholes like that. We push it. We do make fun of the BSers, the frauds.
Yeah,
that's part of our show. But we'll get into that next time because I get in that look like I get from my wife.
Yeah,
I don't want to get you in trouble. So I just appreciate you very much. I know, and I just want to say thank you for everything you put out there on the football field.
No problem, man.
Highest of high levels. You hit some home run mic drops tonight, and I don't even think you know it. So great show. Thank you for coming on. We'll keep it 100 again. We got to get you back.
For sure.
Follow this guy.
Yes, sir.
God bless.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Good stuff.
Darrynton Evans, Claudio.
Dude is the man. Listen, I don't know about you. That laugh, though, Marlon Wayans from Scary Movie. You ever watch that? Dude, every time I hear him laugh, I'm like, holy shit. No, that dude is fucking awesome, man. He's hope we keep him, man.
Yeah, he's positive dude. I tuned into his Twitch channel the other night, and he was just talking. He's like, y'all want to watch some high school clips? And he's like, I'm a sophomore, and he's like, look at this boy, look at this guy out here. He's a character. So, but that's you
glad
need guys
you got
like
him
that
on the show, Shane. That was great.
Yeah,
I know you got nervous when I asked him for one favor, but again, that's
I felt bad. He had sent me a DM, and I was so into what he was saying. He sent me a DM at 9:15. He's like, I'm gonna have to go help the wife quick. And then I was 10 minutes before I even saw it. I was like, oh shit. I was hoping, hopefully Phil doesn't go in one of those 25-minute questions. So
well, you should see the class and the integrity for him to stay on. I didn't get that text or DM, guys, because I could already see Barf getting after me like I did something wrong to keep him longer.
Yeah, he'll tell you tomorrow.
Barf.
He'll tell you tomorrow in the
You're
comments.
such an asshole for doing that. I can't believe how much you love David Montgomery.
No, but he's a good dude, and like I said, Phil. You brought it up, and I did when the Bears claimed him. I'm like, you got to watch this guy, and I think that there is a lot of truth to that. Guys. Guys are talented in the NFL. You have to. It's a lot of it is about opportunity. And you get in there, and it's going to be interesting because I always go back to the point the Bears claimed him. So when you claim him, you claim that third-round draft pick money. So and that's you can say that if it's a 1.5 million extra, that's. When you're claiming a guy you're rebuilding, that teams obviously see something in you for them to claim you and claim that money that's left on your contract. And it's going to be interesting to see how this works out. And I agree with Phil. We talked about it last week with Herb, and he talked to Treston Ebner about it. And Ebner admitted he's got to get in better shape. Not Darrynton talking about himself, Treston Ebner. On tape in college, Ebner looked like a different player. To me, he got that ankle injury. He got healthy. He lost his explosion. And there's not room for players like that in the NFL if you're not going to come to work in shape and ready to go. There's room for players like Darrynton Evans.
Darrynton.
Let's be honest.
You think we're bringing him back?
You have to bring.
I know you want him, but I'm saying you think.
I think
he proved to me.
He's
serious.
I think he's way too versatile because he is an explosive return man. On top, he's a guy that, like Phil said, he's a receiving threat out of the backfield. And listen, a big part of today's NFL, right, wrong, or indifferent, is you have to do more with less. And what I mean by that is you have to have explosive plays with less opportunities. And he talked to you about that tonight.
Exactly.
In a handful of opportunities, he had 2 explosives. So that's what you want. The Bears need more players like that. There's always room for a Darrynton Evans on my 53-man squad, 100%.
The professional conversation, when he's talking about now, when Shane asked him the question, you really got to go back if you've never played the game of football before and listen to his answer, because there's a lot of fucking meatball troll boys out there that are talking like they know the game, like he's talking about a brain surgeon talking about that. There are guys on Twitter that think they know, and one of them is one of the biggest frauds, and he has a position at Bleacher Report. And he was the guy going against me, and Shane could attest to this.
Oh, Matt Miller.
Matt Miller saying you're wrong. He's a fullback when he was talking about number 22.
Yeah, and that was just one of the
Tennessee
things.
Titans.
That was something that was put out there, but actually by multiple people, and they're trying to be ahead of the game and not wrong. And listen, I'm an Alabama guy, and I think it was actually Cherie that brought this up. She's like, "You're more critical on Alabama players as a fan than anybody else is," and I am. But there's at no point could you ever watch Derrick Henry run the football and be like, "That dude's a fullback."
That was my scouting.
Yeah.
I've never seen a freakish talent that size, that agile, that powerful. I told you, I was like, this guy is going to be a fucking star in the NFL. And
yeah,
we all get things wrong, but I will take my percentage without sitting down with a person over 85% of people out there. Like I said, I'm going to fucking understand and look at this tape, and we're going to debate on it, and we're going to talk about it. But the key is to project. Those small school guys are very hard to project based on what they play against when you're watching college tape. So App State, when he goes up against North Carolina and you watch that tape, you could see Darrynton Evans hitting holes, running through tackles. Now you're checking a box. Now he's got 4.39 speed. And 4.4 is world-class speed. And that's why I always laugh when a receiver runs a 4.5. I ran a 4.56. That was my fastest 40 time at Hofstra. I take a lot of pride in that shit because it's a nervous to get in those gates, to line up with a coach timing.
People hear 4.56 and they think that's slow, and it's 100% not slow.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the thing.
I was so proud. I'm
Yeah.
like, I know I'm gonna get a 4.6, and I'm gonna fuck. And when I came back and it was that, I was so proud because I was like, I busted my ass. Claudio will tell you. You saw me in the street running with tires, right?
Yep, with the fucking
Pulling
tire
and
on our
dragging
street,
tires. I had those rubber things. I only got to the college level. To get to the NFL, that's why I've always said with the prerequisite, as hard as I am on Charles Leno, I know Leno is a talented athlete. If Leno got in the gym and worked his ass and his craft like Walter Payton, Charles Leno would be a dominant player.
Yeah, and that's listen, you're not in the NFL by chance. You're in the NFL because there's a very small amount of humans on this planet that can do what you do, and that includes Charles Leno, that includes Ezekiel Elliott at center. I'm just saying that you're special and a rare breed, but amongst all of those players, there's going to be people that separate themselves from the pack, all because of attitude, all because of a willingness to give it up.
That's it.
And
that's it.
You know,
that's the thing that the scout has to find. The attitude, obviously the health, but here's the story. Okay. Guy can run a 4.4, right?
Yeah.
He can't catch for shit.
Yeah.
So what does he bring?
Remember John Capel?
Yes.
The track star. The Bears drafted him in the 7th round. Yeah. And I mean, put him in a straight line, take his helmet off and tell him to run. You ain't catching him. He ain't catching the fucking ball either. But he was fast as shit. You know, you have a special talent. You're trying to bottle it all up and make him a viable NFL player. But
Shane, your point about Randy Moss, we go back to that.
Yeah.
Randy Moss had world-class speed. He had a shitty attitude. Obviously, the story, Walter waited. They were going to take him our day. But again, it goes back to Ted Phillips and the McCaskies always looking for choir boys or a line in the sand. At some point, you got to have these fucking dogs that are going to play a sport that 90% of the world cannot play, including Claudio's World Cup champion, whatever the fuck his name is. So
listen,
it's a mentality.
Darrynton, yeah, this is Claudio, our producer. He wants to see Mbappe signed.
Dude, wait a minute. Hold on. Do you want to even talk about this? Are you serious? You talk about foot skills. You think, hold on, you think Mbappe?
Bop dip dop my dude.
Are you fucking? Do you know how fast that dude is? They tracked him.
Someone bop him off the shelf.
You don't even want to listen. See, you guys don't even want to listen.
No, he can never. Nope.
This debate. You don't want to have this debate.
Jackal doing drops. No? That was Shane.
Smoke weed every day.
Debate, you want to let it happen.
So what were you gonna say, Claude? Go ahead.
I'm not saying no, because you're just gonna cut me off.
I'm not saying
that. Real quick. Every drop is going.
Every drop's going down.
Can't you hear Claude in the press conference when Mbappe signs his deal?
If you were given the opportunity to do a more expansive search, would you have done it?
I was given the opportunity. I found him.
Nobody cares, Claude.
Yes. Oh my. Oh, we were
Cherie's over there excited about him.
I love all.
Cherie.
Oh my God! But what a great interview with Darrynton Evans.
Yeah, and he's reached out already. Like I said, it's great, and these are the guys you love. He has reached out already. Can't wait to come back.
Every guest, Shane, just say 30 minutes.
Oh yeah.
They'll end up being on for an hour and 40.
I told him 45 to 60. Feels like you should have told him 30 to 40.
That's it. Never tell anybody an hour, because you look at that.
See,
we can barely get Bratcher or Jackal on here for.
I don't think Darrynton will mind me sharing. They are literally in the middle of packing suitcases tonight because they're leaving to go handle some business. So they're flying out tomorrow and doing that whole thing. So Jackal, what do you think? You're a superstar soccer coach. What do you think about Mbappe on this roster?
Oh my God. You don't even listen.
If
you actually want to have a debate, we can have it, but you don't want to have it.
Top of your fucking class.
Nah, fucking Claudio, man. Wrong show, brother. Wrong
show. I know. They don't want to have it.
We will have a debate on Mbappe after the draft. I promise. Yeah. Okay? All right? Give me a Jackal. Okay.
Do you want to have your own show, Claude? Mbappe and me? You can break it down, break down the tape.
You need a cardboard cutout of Mbappe, though.
No, Mbappe's not even my man, but he's good. He's fucking good.
There's nobody here. I don't want to get into it because then you'll drag me down to a debate. But we will take your tweet and kind of break down that.
My tweet that I tweeted about it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then
we could talk about it all day long.
I know.
The dude talk about fast. The dude, they clocked him at 4.3.
You fuck yourself.
Jesus Christ, Cars.
Oh, he's an amazing
Cars is pissed.
And talk about
we gotta wait for the debate.
It'll be a fun debate.
It's a nice teaser for some of the soccer fans like Claudio Abreu from Canada who sends. I'm like, why the fuck is my phone blowing up? Can you stop texting me about fucking soccer? I don't care.
I know. We put that group chat. I'm like, dude, wrong.
Yeah,
I just laughed.
Phil and I were texted back and forth about it. Yeah, busting his balls a little bit. I'm like, I don't know why the fuck we're in that group chat.
I don't care about a great play.
Did you guys see that fucking scissor kick? That was sick.
Yeah, he's watching scissor kicks already. He's watching scissor ring.
You, me, and Mbappe. There you go, Claudio. Make that a t-shirt. Awesome. Oh, we need some new t-shirt designs, for God's sake. We haven't got a Cherie. We haven't had a Jackal don't do shit. Come on.
Yeah, what was the one you and I were talking about the other day on the phone?
Oh,
I'm
my,
like, we
the
got to get
J-
Acevedo. What was
the
that
Chris
one?
Zorich one?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I roll with TTNL.
I roll with TTNL now. Zorich. Save that for shout outs, the story. No, but a great conversation. If you're just tuning in to TTNL, please smash the like button.
Are you
I
talking
don't
about
do
the
it enough.
conversation with Darrynton or the soccer talk? Was
There's your segment, Soccer Talk with Claudio.
Will is
First
still
class
waiting for that
protocol.
I Love Balls t-shirt. It's Cherie. Are we allowed to make that, Cherie? Because Shane's like, you better ask Cherie. I go, I think that would be great.
Man,
No?
Mookie, one fucking.
And just
She doesn't
put you
approve. She does
surrounded
not
by
approve.
footballs. I love
She does
balls.
not give consent to that.
No consent.
No
I was
consent to
wrong. Shane was right again.
Yep. See?
Damn. I thought Cherie would love that.
A shirt that says that?
Yes, your face is surrounded by, like, you got to
Whoa.
give me the,
Whoa, that's-
did I do that? Steve Urkel kind of smile. And there's all these footballs around you. I love balls.
Good thing you run the HR department, Cherie. Just complain to yourself.
There's plenty of Cherie drops. Keeping it moist. Keeping it moist.
Keeping it moist. Keeping it moist.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's what all
It's a
those
new show on
those
TTNL.
Civil War groupies at the reenactment Cherie went to.
Oh my gosh.
Trying to shoot him, Captain, but she's keeping them moist. Oh, sure.
Oh boy.
Oh,
It's
God.
a good thing we're in the off season.
Oh, I'm glad we're in the off season. We're about to kick it off. Obviously,
Can I ask you guys a football question about our guest?
Yes.
I
Absolutely.
didn't mean to interrupt you because I didn't know where you were segueing.
Coach Eberflus loves balls too.
What's up, Coach?
I can see that. Being a
What's up,
football
Coach?
It's philosophy.
Yeah.
Hits.
We talked about his contract. He's a restricted free agent.
Well,
How does
I think I was
how does
wrong
that
on
work?
that. I think I was wrong on that because they switched it. So he was a third-round draft pick and signed, I believe it was a 4 or 3 year
It was
deal?
a 4-year deal. This would be he's still under contract this year. I want to say for like not under contract, but it's like 1.2 million. It was a
Okay, so
4-year
he signed a 4-year deal. So yeah, but I think what he was talking about was his when you have 120 plus million and David Montgomery's not under contract and there's questions. I mean, let's be honest, the Bears could go out there and shock everybody and throw Saquon Barkley a huge contract and if available.
No one
and
knows
everybody
their
would be like,
plan.
"Holy shit." Yeah, we
Did you
just
hear
don't
Emma
know.
today? Did you hear what Chris Emma said today by any chance?
No.
He said
You're our
Montgomery
news
is
guy.
he's looking for the ballpark is 12 million a year, which would put him in the top 6 of annual salary for running backs. Which
he ain't getting that.
I don't think the Bears are going to pony that up. And if
No, he can want it. He can
Yeah.
want it, but like I said, he's going to come back here. The market is going to dictate David Montgomery's future, and that's just unfortunately the way that the draft is constructed and the unrestricted free agent market is so flooded. That is what's going to give you a bigger chance to have David back here, probably at the Bears number, which I would assume is 7 to 9 million per.
For Monty, yeah, I
Yeah,
think you're
he
right.
ain't getting. I mean, I would be floored if they went out and signed him for 12 million per season.
Would you rather have Josh Jacobs at 12 million or David Montgomery at 12 million?
I don't think Josh Jacobs will sign with a team for 12 million a
You think
season.
he gets more than that, or is he going to get franchised by the Raiders?
I don't know. It's the Raiders are kind of a wild card because they don't have. I mean, they're really built for a veteran quarterback. I feel like so it's going to be interesting there. But there's going to be opportunities there. I was talking a little bit about it today, and I don't want to make this draft talk because we're going to be talking about that with our patrons here pretty soon. But the way that everything is going, there was a report out there that Jeremy Fowler said that some NFL execs think if Aaron Rodgers ends up anywhere, it could
Raiders.
be Indy. Well, he said Indy.
Really?
Because they have the fourth pick in the draft. They're motivated but it's just I think Indy's in on, I think they want a young
Are
quarterback.
they in a rebuild or retool, right? Like,
I mean, are they going to invest?
We talked about it today. They had 7 Pro Bowlers on their roster last year. This year, those guys did not perform. So you could say like they just had a down year. But why would you, if you were him, would you want to go to Indy? I mean, the Raiders seem like a much more attractive, like landing spot. Fuck Rodgers, but at the same time, if you're gonna,
listen, I mean, everybody's been connecting us to Indy, so that would hurt.
Exactly.
That would hurt the Bears. But I brought this up. I was talking to Cars and Ryan Cox today about this a little bit. You look in it, I know it's dropping down, but when you go from 1 to 9, the return on that is going to be
massive,
monstrous. And you have the ability to demand guys back like Brian Burns, like I'm blanking on their wide receiver.
Devontae Adams?
No, from Carolina.
Oh,
no, I'm talking about Carolina.
DJ Moore. I'm sorry.
But DJ Moore's a fucking baller.
Yeah, you can.
Audio loves him.
You can drop down, and I mean, you're filling. I mean, you're going from 1 to 9. You're getting a 1.
You get
You're
2
getting a
ones.
1 next year.
A 3. You're getting a 1 next year.
2025.
Yeah, and I mean that's.
I don't know about that, but definitely a 1 in 24.
But Phil, that's the mark. I mean, what did San Francisco move with Miami when they came up for? That's the type
another
of,
one.
When you're talking, you're down because the first
it's
one,
a big slide.
the first one is a pick swap,
right?
So you're getting the 2 extras. Yeah, I mean,
you're also as the salesman, you got to say, listen, I'm gonna miss out on 2 of my blue chippers. There's no doubt,
but
so that has to drive up the price.
Absolutely, that's the point, and they're quarterback hunting. So that's driving up. They're not moving up for a pass rusher. You know what I mean?
3 firsts.
Yeah, that's what the Niners gave up for Lance.
Yeah.
And they moved up from where?
3 to 2, right?
No.
Or 6 to 2?
They were down.
I'm trying to remember.
Did they move up?
They went to the 3rd pick, right?
I thought Philly went up twice, but
Philly went up twice for Wentz, but I want to say San Francisco was around.
Were they 12?
11 or 13, 12 to 3.
You.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anthony.
So
12 to 3. That's what they got.
But I mean, it's everybody's talking. Now listen, let's be honest. So
when you say everybody.
Well, I'm saying
like who? Like Schefter, these guys?
No. I mean, when you hear that the Bears are connected to a team for a possible trade down, everybody is starting with Houston and Indy. Because you're going to use them against each other.
I think a Houston trade down is definitely coming.
But this is the thing, and this is when you're talking about the blue chippers, and this is what Carr's overriding point back on Carr's keys like 2 months ago was you want to get the blue chippers, but are you at the point where if you can get a massive haul and get back, like I said, if you're getting back a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 next year and a 1 the year after that, are you willing to bypass all of that for Jalen Carter or for Will Anderson? It's a legit conversation with the way that your roster.
So this is something I've heard being talked about, and I thought this is a great. Do you think this is possible? We trade with Houston, get whatever we get for that. Then we trade the 2 with the Colts.
Said that.
Well, it depends.
And now we're at 4. So you figure the top 3 or
it can happen, but
that's what
here's the thing. It all is going to
be that.
Right. It's ideal, but the part where I can put bullet holes in it is you move to number 2 and Houston moves to number 1 and takes the quarterback that Indy really wanted.
Yeah.
So that's
Indy's gonna want all. Here's the thing with Indy. Indy's fucked
may
up.
want Lewis
they
now.
continue to get all of these veterans that they lose. They can't go this Aaron Rodgers route. As good as Aaron Rodgers is, I think that's
and I don't think
they're
shit. And I don't think if you read that the article from the Athletic about Jim Irsay, and I mean, is Aaron Rodgers gonna? I mean, Jeff Saturday is getting a second interview. They are going to have
legit.
Well, they said 7 guys are getting a second interview.
Yeah, but it sounds like
Irsay loves her.
It sounds like this is Jeff Saturday's job.
Wow.
To lose, and I mean, yikes! I mean, as much as I hate Aaron Rodgers, I wouldn't touch Indy. Yeah. I mean, you want to trade for me? Good. You're going to rework my deal, and you're paying me $60 million a year. That's
what I'm
doing.
Everybody's talking about Rodgers. It's ultimately up to him and where he want to go if he wants to go anywhere anyway. So
no trade clause.
Matter of what teams want him, it's who he wants to play for.
And he has to structure his deal.
I'm in the discussion with Houston threatening everybody because I'm at 1. I don't give a fuck. They all love these guys. Stroud, Levis.
Get your guy. Give us your best.
Yeah. I would trade down to Houston and then get the Colts on the phone again. And then my situation would be between who's there, Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. And I would make sure as a GM I got the blue chip because I don't play the cars game of I got all this in the future. I'm already getting future and I'm isolating on a pillar.
But it's not just that. It's not just that, Phil. I mean, it's not just the future. It's you're setting yourself up. You're
doing it twice. You're gonna get a bunch. Don't get out of that top.
But Phil, the thing about it is where you're removing yourself. You can nobody wants to talk about this, but let's say that Justin Fields suffers a bad injury or he doesn't progress the way that you want. You want to have as many bullets in the chamber to make a run at Caleb Williams
next year.
Yeah, but you would have 1 pick. You would have 1 extra pick, and that's not going to do it.
You would get 2 because you're going to have 3 picks next year because you're going to have your own. You're going to have Houston's, and you're going to have Colts.
Houston's
not 3 first-round picks.
Houston is not giving up a future first-rounder to move up 1 slot. Not happening.
Not like the Bears did.
Not happening.
You don't think so?
No.
If you got Colts on the phone and
they want Bryce Young,
they have number 2 and number 12 right now in the first round.
That's
Houston
probably
does.
the trade they would offer.
Is it 12? Yeah.
All right, so I got 2 first-round picks.
I'd be surprised. I don't even know if you'd get.
I would not leave Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. I just wouldn't leave that area. I would get. You got to play this smart.
All right, but so let me. But
are they generational?
Everything is.
I believe so. Yeah.
Everything is on the table. Everything is on the table. So let's just say that Houston wants to sit where you're at.
Where they're
at number 2.
Mm-hmm.
We can't let. They have the 12th overall pick. And they have extra ammo. They have Cleveland's first rounder next year. So they also have 2 first rounders next year. So now let me paint this scenario for you.
Okay.
So now at number 4, the Bears make the trade with Indy. So now Indy's at number 1. Houston's at number 2. Arizona's at number 3. Chicago's at number 4. Indy gets on the clock and they take any quarterback. Let's just say they take Will Levis because that's in play.
Wait.
As much as people don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
What did we do at 1?
No. We traded to number 4 with Indy. Indy's on the clock at number 1.
Thank you.
So now at number 2,
yep.
Houston gets up there. They turn in their card.
Yep.
And Roger Goodell comes out and says, with the 2nd pick in the 2023 NFL draft, the Houston Texans select Will Anderson. Pass rusher from Alabama.
And Arizona takes Carter.
And then Arizona takes Jalen Carter at number 3, and you're sitting at number 4.
That would be Aaron Donald all over again. Here we go.
Well, but then you're back in the quarterback market of selling to
You would
Carolina,
have to then trade.
A lot harder.
Or you would have to hope, Phil. But
He doesn't
I mean,
want to have to do that.
no, but that's why there's so many things on the table, and 100% where you're right. You have to. Ryan Poles has to be an absolute fucking savage. And he has to tell Houston, I know you want a quarterback. And if you're not going to pony up to me, you're going to face that guy for the next 15 years in your division because I'll give it to Indy. And then you pick up the phone to Indy and say, they're offering me number 2 and number 12. So you're going to send me your first and second and third this year, your first next year. Oh, and I want Quentin Nelson thrown in there, or whatever,
Branson
or I
and
want
Buckner
thrown in there.
Pittman.
That's the way that you have to be an absolute sack because you're on the mountaintop and you're holding the bat. You have to swing that motherfucker.
You can't fumble.
Arizona could also shock the world and turn around and draft a quarterback too.
Yeah,
I could see that shit happening with
I
that.
know.
That owner is crazy, bro.
Oh, I know.
It seems like he loves Murray.
Huh?
It seems like the owner loves.
It seems
Murray.
like the owner has sided with Kyler. That's why they shipped out.
Well, didn't this coach handpicked Kyler, and they got rid of Josh Rosen?
But they just signed $250 million.
Yeah. Where's he going?
Yeah,
nowhere.
Where are they going to trade him? That's true. It's a crazy.
But I'm just saying, you can't because listen, if you're saying that Carolina,
we don't know the coach of Houston either.
Carolina, well, yeah, Carolina's got the ammo to move, Carolina's got the ammo to move up because they have the extra picks from the Christian McCaffrey trade. Houston's got a ton of ammo. They have number 2, number 12. They have 2 first rounders next year. That's the thing. You go to Houston you give me number 2 and Laramie Tunsil. We'll drop back 1 slot.
And when is the deadline for them to declare? Because
it's already went by.
I would do.
Player, did he?
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Oh,
Yep.
I would do a fucking TikTok dance if we got Laramie Tunsil, their first round pick, and some other draft capital.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I think everything is on the table, and this is there's a report today from a guy that covers the Commanders saying Deron Payne, they ain't bringing him back.
Nope.
So then
to Washington.
He better be coming to Chicago.
Well, that's the thing. Ben Albright. So D'Amico Ryans is a name there. It makes sense there in Houston. Benjamin Albright sent out a tweet today, said that if you're in Denver, he'd be buying D'Amico Ryan's stock.
Yeah.
So
Denver's got a lot of money.
Staying in the booth, right?
What's that?
Who?
Sean Payton
in the booth.
It seems that way. I mean, he was connected to Arizona. I know he interviewed, I believe, in Carolina already, but it's things in the NFL happen very, very fast. But in terms of saying that it's going to be this and then this is going to happen, nobody knows. Chicago runs free agency and Chicago runs the NFL draft.
Does Chicago also hold the waiver rights right when the cuts beginning of the season?
Yeah.
So at the beginning, because I've had a lot of people reach out to me.
It goes like the first 5 or 6 weeks. So so you get to camp.
No.
Whenever anybody gets cut, Chicago has first priority. They get first swing.
That's also, but
huge.
The question is, like, how they cut veterans,
casualty guys,
cap casualties prior to the draft. If a guy is now, because I forget the rule, veteran based on a contract, when he's waived, he becomes a free agent. However, if a younger guy gets waived or cut, he still has to clear waivers.
If you're a vested veteran,
Mm-hmm.
you can be unrestricted.
So the Bears can claim a guy that's younger that a team has cut.
Yeah, they'll have
maybe
first,
doesn't get along with.
They'll have first priority. Yep.
And that goes all the way
it's like it's like week 4 through 6, and then it reverts to standings.
The current standing.
Yep.
So the Bears have a whole entire 9 months of controlling the roster to where they need. That's why,
right? And
Herb Howard, myself, the Bears have to win next year. It's like, if they don't, then you got to look at another coach. They have to fucking win. And this is every time in the NFL. Last to first. This isn't 1990.
Well, that's the thing, I always laugh about it. You hear Bears beat reporters saying, this is a 3 to 4 year rebuild.
No,
it's not. Listen, the NFL.
They're rebuilding now.
The NFL is
year one.
It's essentially a 3-point league. A ball rolls a certain way. Velus doesn't put the ball on the ground. You get another win. And fans always think that the improvement from your roster has to always come from outside sources and free agency, in the draft, in trades. Nobody ever talks about Braxton Jones is going to be in the weight room and there's going to be internal growth. Kevin Jenkins is healthy. Oh, yeah. Justin Fields takes the next step. Velus Jones shows signs. Cole Kmet takes another step. So there's
they don't put that into their equation.
Right. You don't think
those guys can't win.
You don't think Jaquan Brisker is going to be better in year 2? Kyler Gordon,
Claypool
with an offseason. Yep. Don't forget about young guys like Jalen Jones and Josh Blackwell either. Both of those motherfuckers can play. Both of them can, and that's another name right there too. Kenny Moore from the Colts. Matt Eberflus essentially handpicked that guy, and that's going to be a guy that they will look at in any type of a trade down scenario. They're not going to. Jim Irsay is a crazy man, and he's essentially on record as saying, we're going to go get our quarterback. I am sick of recycling quarterbacks here. We need our guy. And hey, the last 2 times they've had the first overall pick, they've drafted Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck. Yep. So they've had pretty good track record. So
the other thing is, we had a president that held us back. And if you've ever been in any kind of sport and you have an administrative approach to it, and take it for what it is, it's never going to help you win. You can't look for choir boys all the time. It ain't going to happen like that. You got to go outside the box. You got to find elite talent that is going to fit and play the game. This isn't soccer. No offense to Claudia. There's a certain mentality that you got to find in a football player that isn't going to play the game without loving it. Like tonight, I know Darrynton Evans loved the game of football. He took a professional approach to it. And you have a job. Just being around. Like, the greatest move this whole offseason has been the president. And exactly. And look at guys like Sam Bourne getting an opportunity. Again, talked about tonight. This network stands on performance over politics. Opportunities in there. If you are a GM or a coach and you're like, well, we drafted this guy in the second round, we got to look good. We can't look bad. We're going to continue to play Kevin White. We're going to continue to play so-and-so, fill in the fucking blank. You lose. You only lose on the field and in the locker room because the players know who the fuck's the best. And that's
I look at it. I look at it, Phil, and I mean, a guy that I brought up with Darrynton, you look at Velus Jones. Mm-hmm. That's a guy that they obviously believed in. 71st pick in the draft. He did not perform. He was putting the ball on the ground, and you didn't hear from him. He wasn't even active for games. So that speaks to accountability. I don't care if you were a third-round draft pick. And I mean, I think it speaks to a strong locker room. You heard Darrynton and say that when we were asking questions about the coach. He's like, it's not really. Yes, the coach has to hold people accountable. He's going to be the guy that's carrying the big stick there. But you want players, Phil. You know how this is. You've coached kids. You've raised sons. You want to get to a point where these guys, you want to get to a point where these guys are holding each other accountable. Because when you're doing that, then you're doing something right.
Then you're winning.
When they're policing themselves, you want to always be the overseer. And if you see something getting out of line, you want to be there to get it back in line. But you want to see
captains and all of naming weekly. That was dumb, because to your point, that's what you want. I was going to drop something here. Someone switched my background.
I don't know what.
Don't worry. And we're going to be talking all about this. You lost my train of thought here. Getting you ready. Coming up.
Collaborate this. The Tape Never Lies network coverage of the NFL Draft starts now.
Yes, the draft mob is coming back. That's what I was trying to do, Jackal, is go to that.
Sorry, I got all confused. I'm just like, what is happening?
I was trying
we don't have a date for it yet, but it'll be
the tape of Will Anderson and Jalen Carter, the quarterbacks, receivers, tight ends, defensive linemen, offensive linemen. We're going to have a lot of former Bears, Coach O, Shane, Cars, myself, breaking down not only the draft, but free agent signings. Every signing, we're going to go into the tape, break that down. If it's an offensive lineman, if it's a defensive lineman, this kind of stuff is imperative to get the best coverage of the Chicago Bears and the draft out there. I'm willing to stick my neck out there for you. Little tease right there. Become a patron, thetapeneverlies.com. It's that simple. What do? You hit the button, then you're in. Sign up, and you'll be seeing the off-season coverage coming up soon. We haven't named a date, so get over there. Sign up. You got the East-West Shrine, obviously. Luke Getsy, head coach, Senior Bowl. He's going to get some advantage looks at some of these young prospects, whether it be a young receiver out of a school. I mean, you look at the Buffalo Bills game. We had Matt Waldman on with us last year during draft season talking about Khalil. God, I just lost his name. You saw him, number 10 for the Buffalo Bills, making plays out there.
Khalil Shakir.
Shakir. Thank you.
And I believe the Bears had that pick and traded with Buffalo.
They did.
Day 3, and they kept on trading down. Yeah.
I'm like, damn, they got Shakir.
Yeah.
I think the Bears had the Packers pick, too, that was traded through Tennessee, where they picked my guy Romeo Doubs. Again, last year you had a bunch of analysis on these wide receivers that were taken in the draft, offensive linemen, all of this.
Yeah. Phil, you and I talked about this a little bit. I don't want to get into the draft stuff too much because we're going to save that mainly for our patrons. But HL, this is literally a conversation you and I just had within the past 48 hours. You know, we're talking about Tyree Wilson. I was diving into him pretty hardcore 2 nights ago, breaking down a lot of stuff. And I got 4 pages of notes on him. Body type, the body composition to me. And I said to Phil, and Phil ended up agreeing with me. You look at this dude, and he's Alonzo Spellman, the body comp with this motherfucker's arms are so he can tie his shoes without bending over. That's how long his arms are. It's
freakish. It looks weird on tape.
It does. It doesn't even look. It doesn't even look
275.
right. Wow. Yeah, he's gonna make plays based on the length of his arms. It's weird to even say. But his
arm length is like
he is super raw.
Have you ever seen the picture of Shaquille O'Neal and Yao Ming? You ever seen this picture of the two of them together? Maybe Jackal could find it. Yao Ming makes Shaquille look like me.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
So when you watch the tape, it's that kind of like, what the fuck am I watching? It's so freakish. It almost looks like a video game watching Wilson.
He's not going to be around long on draft day at all. I mean, he is very raw as a pass rusher, but man, he's
so
when you hear guys say that, guys have every tool in the box, that's him. I mean, if you
look at that shit.
I mean, Shaq is massive.
That's crazy.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That is real right there, too.
Yeah.
Like, I had to take 3 takes at that because I was like, oh my God.
How big? 3 like the Yao Ming. Holy shit.
Yeah. But I'm a big Wilson fan, and I think he's gonna be that scenario that I painted for you guys, if Houston went pass rusher or defensive tackle, and then Arizona takes whatever left over, and you're at 4, you're probably talking to a team that wants a quarterback. But I mean, I could see. I don't see. Yeah, so Seattle's at 5. Yeah. I think that's balls. Wilson. I don't think he gets beyond. I mean, to me, that he's got Pete Carroll and Schneider written all over him. He's raw, but if you want to build this dude and work with him, he's going to be a guy. He's going to make plays just based off his physical attributes in year 1 as a pass rusher. He's extremely raw, but man, you talk about a kid that's legitimately got everything.
Could be. I compared him to Daniil Hunter.
And he's even more gangly, though. I mean, he is.
He's freakish. Because Daniil, when he was coming out, I was like, this dude is gonna be a star. And I believe Hunter is probably like 6'5".
Yeah,
and I really feel big about Daniil Hunter. But
I'm trying to look for that one picture. Just
look how long his arm, they just go to his knees.
He is so raw on tape.
Huge.
Yeah.
His partner, the other defensive end, I don't know what year he is, but that kid's a football player too. But this kid, if he starts getting the techniques down, my God, you're looking at one of these freakish talents that you've gotten. And there's no doubt about it. We're going to be breaking his tape down.
Oh yeah, I mean he's going to be one of those guys where it's going to be one entire show devoted to him because there's going to be so much to talk about. But let me just throw this up here when you just look at his. That doesn't even show it there.
Yeah,
it's the little even bruise on his knee. That's a shitty picture. But you look at his. He extends his fingers. They're at his fucking kneecaps right now. It's just I can get a better picture, but yeah, he's. When you hear them say you have that big chunk of clay and they're going to mold him. He's got everything you want.
Well, when you're looking at the Bears defense and you need to set the edge, we saw Muhammad so many times fall victim to not. When you have that kind of length, you have that kind of power and size, then you're cooking with gas. So he fits exactly what the Chicago Bears are looking for in that kind of length. I mean, that's uncoachable. Can't coach that.
No, totally agree.
He is a project to me, but there's a lot of flashes. That's what goes beyond. It's not like I have to question. Well, we're going to get into that all this offseason on Draft Mob, Marsaw, Atoshin, and Bears Nerd. Breaking down the draft with the tape. Chris Zorich is going to be jumping on with us to look at the defensive linemen
Yeah, actually, I'm going to reach out to Darrynton. I was going to bring it up. I'm going to reach out to him, and when we start talking about some running backs, I'll see if he wants to come on. And he loves this forum. To get on and talk about stuff. So when we do some running backs, because we will be talking about them, we'll have him on potentially. And if you're a patron, you can. It's nice to see, like you said, when you're talking to Eric Kramer, when you're talking to Chris Sorich, they're gonna see things and look at things just a little bit different. The guys that have been there.
I'm gonna lock it. Olin said he would come on too, so we could be looking at some of the linemen with Big O, Coach O, and that would be an all O show.
Yeah, and I mean, just to answer this, I would take Tyree Wilson over Skoronski all day and twice on Sunday. 100%.
Don't spoil everything.
Yeah.
Here's a clip I want to talk about. Chris Jackal. Could we get maybe a banner to give credit to this show before we put it up? But we always talk about the cap, and I always talk about fuck the cap philosophy versus the cap. And if you use it correctly and you understand how to work it obviously every NFL team has a very smart person, except the Bears. As the president and financer of making the cap work and where you could spend it. So this is a clip from Pat McAfee show with former Green Bay Packers, right? Cap guru Andrew Brandt.
Yep.
Not Kyle the sellout Brandt. I go, you got the Kyle curse. If Kyle wears your jersey, you're fucking losing. And check out those numbers. I sent it to Kyle
himself. Which video did you want to play? The clip that I sent you the other day where he talks about the evidence of, or do you want to go with the Kyle Brandt one that talks over the actual topic?
I want to see the topic. Is
all
that
right, cool.
this?
Ready? There's a quiz here too. Okay. What they do is something called cash over cap. In other words, they can pay extraordinary amounts of cash yet stay under the cap. Stay with me here. Signing bonuses are prorated for cap purposes. So if you give a guy a bonus, it's prorated over the life of the contract. You keep the first year number low, you keep the salary low, and the cap goes up in later years. But you're staying under the cap while giving out a lot of cash. Now, cash-rich owners like Kroenke,
this
like
is
Walton,
why it's so important to get a new stadium.
They can do this. Other markets can't. But here's what happens. Let's take the Matthew Stafford contract, AJ. $60 million bonus this year. Repeat, $60 million bonus this year.
This is from the
5-year deal. Show. So cap charge over 5 years is $12 million a year. Okay? Salary's 1.5. So 60 million bonus, 1.5 salary in 2022. Right? Question.
13.5.
Okay. Ding, ding, ding. You got that. Here's the second question.
Pretty good, yeah.
What is the Matthew Stafford cash number for 2022?
Blew his mind.
1.5.
61.5.
Fuck. Yeah. 60 because he got the signing bonus plus the 1.5. That's all I
meant. Andrew, is that because the owner has the cash to write that check?
Exactly. Now,
this is
what
key.
is the cash over cap number for just one player, Matthew Stafford, in 2022?
Well, you do 61.5 minus 13.5.
Correct.
Thank you. So that's what? 48.
Beautiful. $48 million. So let's just be clear on this. Good. Stan Kroenke has just paid Matthew Stafford $48 million cash over cap. One player on a team of 60-something players. One player has a cash over cap figure of $48 million. So how do you stay under the cap? You do this proration cash over cap. You have one player making $48 million cash over cap. The problem is somehow if you separate from Matthew Stafford down the road, that $12 million a year of bonus accelerates when you separate. Exactly. So say, I know it's never going to happen, but
but this is where Phil and I butt heads, and this is where you have to watch yourself. Phil is 100% correct. But what is Andrew Brandt talking about? He's talking about the Green Bay Packers that have a roster that they felt like was going to be contending for a Super Bowl. The LA Rams won the Super Bowl and were trying to go back to back. Where you run into the problem, you cannot have a stripped down roster and just say fuck a cap. Because it makes no. That's how you fuck up your franchise. You can't have a fuck a cap philosophy when you're a player or two away from a Super Bowl. Like if you're
like the Rams,
Philly,
like the Rams,
if you're
like the
San
Rams
Francisco, like the Rams, like Green Bay thought that they were, Kansas City, 100%. Go ahead and do it. That make the cash over cap. When you're Chicago right now, you can't. They
never could because they don't have cash.
Yeah, they're not a cash-rich franchise. It sounds like,
but they have though, because when they set the market for Julius Peppers, and whatever the bonus was in what his contract was with Khalil Mack, say the bonus is $60 million, that goes in escrow immediately. You have to have George McCaskey has to take that fucking money and hand it the fuck over. It's gone. It's held in escrow. That's cash.
19.9 million guaranteed.
Gone. That's held in escrow immediately. They don't have Kroenke money.
Yeah.
But the fuck a cap philosophy works when you are contending for a Super Bowl, when you're a player two away.
Well,
Doing it now,
the Bears have set themselves up, whether you give Ryan Pace, Poles, whoever, that they have so much cap to even spend. So when I hear Ryan Poles say, you have to go crazy because you have to get to that bottom floor of spending.
165 million, but when you think about it, Phil, that's not so.
Guys.
Day one opens up. Daron Payne is out there, and you're giving him 5 years, 110 million.
I never even react like Jackal does. I don't care. Like, great, we got a great player.
No, but I'm saying that 165 of what you have to spend is cash. That's can eat that up
based on the structure.
You can eat that up. Listen, don't undersell this. Darnell Mooney just switched agents, and guess who he's represented? He's represented by Ryan Poles' agent, Matt Eberflus's agent, and Justin Fields' agent. Don't think that shit
extension
doesn't matter.
I totally. The way they've spoken about Mooney and Kmet, you already know that they want them back, and they've spoken about David Montgomery that way. So that's why it's going to be interesting. People can want. I want $4 million. If I get 3, am I upset? No, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. That's generational money if you recognize it. If David Montgomery wants 12 and he gets 9, he should not take that as any slap to the face. It's fucking $9 million per year to play the game of football that you love.
Ralph, but if someone offered you 12, I mean, that's.
I know Ralph is trying to get noticed, so I'm going to give him his moment to fucking shine here. Yeah.
What?
Oh my God. We just started talking about Monty again.
He's talking about like 2 time frames that are like, I don't know, 10 years apart.
Yeah, what is he? I don't even know what he's talking about. Saban going to the Dolphins?
Yeah, the moron Nick Saban. Yeah, I mean,
he's a moron.
He didn't figure anything out.
Yeah.
Nick Saban.
I bet
Greatest
you Nick Saban
ever.
When he goes on Twitch has barf in his handle.
Do we even have to go out and defend Nick Saban? But I will, because there's not a better coach in all of college football. That's the end of that.
The 165 number, they can blow through that quickly, very quickly.
And they need to.
who are they talking to today? They're talking about the Bears and free agency, and he said literally the way that the Bears are constructed, they can go out and take their top 4 free agents that they want and just come away with them if the players want to be here and want to sign for the money. Because
if they were to get Payne, my guy Davenport, and Tremaine Edmonds on defense.
Edmonds, I would like.
Then those 3 guys have changed your culture front. Now
like
I can move my guy Sanborn to Will and put Edmonds at Mike and now get that length to cover that cover 2 seams and that deep in cut on 3rd and 17 that Detroit, Minnesota,
kills Chicago with over
Jets.
and over and over and
like,
over and over again.
If you're
3rd and 18, 3rd and 15, they're gonna get 18 on that fucking in cut.
I'm dead serious about Davenport. Marcus Davenport, to me, I loved him coming out of college at Cherie's alma mater, Texas San Antonio. I believe he's a fucking sleeping giant about to wake up in the NFL.
The sleeping part, right?
Listen, just watch his tape. What he did, a lot of dirty work for that.
Is he going to be expensive, or is he going to be?
Oh yeah, he's going to cash in for.
He's a fucking animal.
Yeah, he's got to stay healthy.
His health is the thing.
He's got to produce.
I don't like Van Der Esch.
There's a lot of questions there with his neck. That's what's scary there. I go Edmonds over Van Der Esch all day.
All day. Edmonds would be the first guy I call.
Well, and it makes sense. Listen, the way that you have to approach free agency is you want guys that are going to come in and give you instant impact, but you also want to bring in guys that, like Javon Hargrave is a fantastic fucking player. Totally love the talent. I can't go out there and give him a 4-year deal where you're just, blowing his doors in at 31 years old. Can't do it.
It's a tough one.
I could do it.
Yeah.
I love him.
You could, but I would pull you in my office and be like, I'll trade for him on Madden for you. You can play with him there. I'm going to go get you somebody else.
I'm a huge fan of him. Oh my God. Talk about a menace. I like him more than I did Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. Draymond Jones is another name you better study for Chicago. Because they're going to be going after guys. They're going to play guys. I mean, Deron Payne's 26 years old. Draymond Jones, 25 years old. Tremaine Edmonds, 24 years old. That's why they're going to bring in guys that still have upside, still have room to grow. I'm not a Davenport guy, but that's one thing he has got going for him. I believe he's still only 26 years old. So that's it. Those are going to be the types of things that they're looking into. The other kid, the one linebacker that Flus has a connection to, Okereke, is going to be another guy that they're going to be looking at. The linebacker from Philly, actually Wisconsin, played with Sanborn. Blanking on his name, TJ. What's his name? Somebody in the chat will put it there. I'm blanking on his name, but it's going to be another guy that they're going to be looking at. These young guys still have upside, and they're going to pay him. TJ Edwards, thanks.
Edwards.
TJ Edwards, yep.
Yeah, I like him too.
You're going to have to look at some of these guys, obviously, on the defensive side of the football. You need a makeover.
This is the thing, and this is you guys hear me talk about how you have to become a poker player. And when I talked about Ryan Poles has to be a savage when he's in these deals, because you're at the mountaintop, you're controlling it. You go out and you sign. So just say you sign Deron Payne, and then you make the Indy deal. And then you're not going down anymore. So you've tried to trade down from 4, you can't. You're sitting there. You've opened up the coffers and you can take Will Anderson, or you fortified the interior of your defensive line for the next 10 years with, or let's just say the next 5 years with Daron Payne and Jalen Carter on the interior of your defensive line moving forward. Because the one thing there, by my assessment, there's deeper edge rusher class than there is interior linemen on this, the way that this is set up. I mean, because there's some guys that I absolutely love, edge rushers, that I think are going to come in and make instant impact. There's guys that have a ton of traits, like we talked about. Tyree Wilson is a guy, but then there's also a dude that's raw and I think is going to be a monster in time. You know, Andre Carter from Army. Go check that dude out. It's going to be fun, man. Yep. The Bears have options and they normally do not. That's the difference.
I don't look at stats. Good time Bears. For a good time, I'm going to watch the tape. I don't look at the stats. I want to see how they play in situational football. And that's the health thing we could talk about. And that's the question. What Shane's asking is the one. Will Smith, is he what I believe he is? I believe he's the best player in this whole draft.
Will Anderson.
Will Anderson. Sorry, I said Will Smith. Fucking slap myself.
Slap you.
Someone slap me.
Yeah, it's just the short area quickness is otherworldly there. That's the separator with him.
And his motor never stops.
You guys like Yannick Ngakoue?
I think that's a guy.
He's a great football player.
Yeah.
Connection to Flus.
Yeah.
Again. Yep. And those are
The
going to be.
other thing, Muhammad had the connection
right?
with Flus, and Muhammad was probably the worst.
Yeah. But I don't think that he was ever brought here to be like, if they brought in Ngakoue or somebody like that, they're brought here to he's brought here to rush the passer. I don't think they're.
Justin Jones needs to be a backup, a rotation.
Oh, on a deep team, he's a rotational piece, and that's fine.
And then you
talk about the interior of your line being Daron Payne, Jalen Carter, and rotating him in there. Then you're talking about something.
Yeah, exactly. You have to rebuild that defensive line.
But
that
is what is key, Phil, when you're talking about. Listen, Jalen Carter.
If you were to trade for Brenton Buckner, now all of a sudden,
DeForest, not Brenton. He's about 50.
I always go like that. DeForest, Buckner. I love that dude.
Run, Forrest.
And then you get a Daron Payne.
Oh, I love it.
And then you got to get Will Anderson.
Jesus.
Jeez.
I did that on purpose.
I'm glad there's nobody named Oprah in this draft. We'd be all fucked up. But no,
Did you see Eddie Murphy's speech?
Yeah.
That was great. But you want to get those defensive linemen that are going to go crazy out there.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing with Jalen Carter that he is going to have to sit down and talk about.
Does he love the game all the time?
You cannot have an on and off switch. You can't. When say you draft him at number 4, you can't have a worry that is he going to. You can't flash for a game and then be gone for 4. Can't. Exactly. You have to say to yourself, I believe that this kid can make the Hall of Fame when you're drafting up there. That's what you have to see. And that's what you have to tell yourself. And this is the thing. You talk about Davenport or Yannick, you could sign both.
You can get both of them.
And I just don't think that they
didn't. Yannick, he led the NFL in sacks when he was with the Jaguars. Yep. Then he was traded
to Minnesota, and then they
did
traded him within the same. They traded him the same season.
Exactly.
See ya.
So it's like these Okay. It's like these people that do these fucking mock drafts and come away with 17 picks and want a fucking round of a fucking applause.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, I don't give a fuck about your mock. Like, let's go on live and do a mock with everything on the line. That's the mock. That's what we do here. Like, then you're going to impress me with the move. But you show, I want to see who was on the board. I don't give a fuck that you traded. I got 17 picks. Look, I got Jalen Carter because the computer's fucking dumber than fucking PFF at 9. I traded that. Who care? Nobody. It's unrealistic. If that hurts your feelings, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and this is
fun. It's a fun thing. It's like you sharing your Madden fucking league.
Yeah.
It's your fucking Madden league.
I just picked up Jack Sanborn last night. It's 84. I was fucking pretty excited.
My son was able to trade. He got Asante Samuel Jr. He got what's his name from the onto his Madden team for the Bears. He's like, Daddy, I was able to get. Why am I drawing a blank with one of my favorite players?
Smith?
Not Will.
David Montgomery?
No, he was able to get what's his name from the 49ers.
Debo Samuel?
Debo.
CMC?
Oh, Debo.
He's like, I got Debo. I go, there you go.
Oh, he'd be great in the Bears uni.
Oh my God. One of my favorite players in the NFL. Debo.
Anyway.
Okay.
Bad.
My son got him. That's great. That's it.
That's it.
What can we do? What can we do? We want to enjoy analyzing the tape of who these guys are. Who's a sleeper? Maybe there's a guy from San Jose State that nobody's talking about. That once the East-West Shrine or the Senior Bowl, you kind of see these guys in pads competing. They just check a box for you. Then they get to the combine. Yes, TTNL will cover the combine. And we'll talk about that. We won't raise a guy 50 notches because he ran a 4.49.
Well, that's
and Eisen.
Put this out there, and this is the part. You know, there's a fans are gonna watch the 40-yard dash, and a wide receiver is gonna run fast, or a running back is gonna run fast, and they're gonna be like, "Fuck, we gotta draft this dude." It's not the way that it works. I mean, you can get put on the map for teams. Chicago, you know, with Kevin White, how he, you know, he ran a 4.39, and he was never that. He was a 4.55 guy on tape all day. Yeah, Cole Strange.
Cole Strange.
And we should have brought it up with Darren.
I was proud of us, especially myself, talking about Hufanga, because that was the guy that I was like, fuck his 40 fucking. Look at this fucking. I was going crazy. My father, Shane, like, gotta get these types of. What is Hufanga doing? Oh, he's a all pro. That's what the tape showed you, not his 40 time. I don't even know what he fucking ran in the 44.6.
Hufanga, it wasn't great, but
so
it doesn't need to be.
It's always about the tape first. That's got to get you in the door. Then the personality. Do you love football? Do you love it? Okay, you could tell me you love it. Now I put that to the tape.
This is a great quote. This is a great comment to put up. Listen, it is all on the tape. If you're basing everything just on talent, you cannot find heart. And if it matters to them, like Jamarcus Russell, I don't know if everybody knows the story. I might have it butchered a little bit, but there was questions if he was doing all of his own tape study at home like he was supposed to. So they would cut up DVDs.
Such a great move.
Yeah, send it home. Well, I think it was it like $100 bill jackal or something like that. They put in there. And
how's your tape study going?
Yeah, how's your tape study going? He's like, oh yeah, it was good.
It's going good, Coach.
gave him back the stuff, and the $100 bill was still sitting there, and it was untouched. You're talking about Kyler Murray. Everybody makes a joke of it, but I mean, everybody's talking about, when Call of Duty comes out and shit like that, they're showing how it affects his game.
They didn't put that shit in his contract for no reason.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I mean, to me, that is the ultimate red flag. You're out there, you're worried about a fucking video game when I need you to be my franchise quarterback, and that's something. When I look at Justin Fields,
the tapes were blank. That's the true story.
Yeah.
So they asked him.
Yeah, they sent him duds.
He's like, I'm watching. And he just he's just a fucking fraud.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff, honestly, we talk about sitting down with the players, doing your due diligence. A lot of people laugh at the prospect, but you're investing millions of dollars into these athletes to play for you. How do they embrace the embodiment of being a professional, where it's your job now?
Yeah, you talk about the NFL draft. Now, if I'm in the quarterback game and people can go back and they want to blast Kevin Warren for the Big Ten stuff when he shut it down, who was the guy that petitioned that wanted to play? Justin Fields. So that, to me, that is a plus in his corner. Ohio State doesn't play a game that year. Justin Fields probably is locked in as QB2 in the draft that year. I look at this draft this year, and it's starting to get more play. You can look back at our archives when we talked about it, and people said that, we were crazy. Will Levis is 100% in play for being the number one pick in the NFL draft.
Connecticut boy.
Yeah, and this is the thing. My problem with Will Levis is you're a quarterback. You're the quote-unquote leader of that team, and you remove yourself from the bowl game because you want to concentrate on the NFL draft. You're invited to the Senior Bowl. You turn that down. And do you think he's going to go to the fucking combine and work out? No fucking way. Why? I want a dude that shit matters. He wants to be out there no matter what.
No doubt.
And that's a check mark for Bryce Young. He didn't have to go out there and play in the bowl game. Will Anderson Jr. didn't have to go out there and play in the bowl game. They didn't have to, but they did. To me, that's a major. Will Levis is going to get drafted by somebody very, very high, and he's going to be the reason that general manager gets fired within the next couple of years.
With an attitude like that, that's it. You got to be a competitor. I always laughed. I'm not going to throw at the comp. Why? You've thrown your whole fucking life.
So dumb.
None of these scouts care about your timing and rhythm. They want to see you compete. And throw the goddamn football down the field. That's what you're there for. You got to be a competitor. Any agent that's telling their quarterback or don't do the combine.
That's the thing. You saw the report about Bryce Young tonight.
No, I didn't.
Bryce Young and his people are telling people that he's going to be 210 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, he's doing CrossFit, man, or he's eating with Claudio.
Trenbolone sandwiches, motherfucker.
My point is, you can get him there with the water weight and stuff like that. But if you're 210 pounds, you better get your ass to the combine and do all the workouts at 210 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you go there and weigh in at 210 pounds and say, "Nah, I'm not going to throw or do any of the workouts." You got to throw and you got to run at 210 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be.
Listen,
I don't see how the fuck
he's the kind of person.
I don't know how the fuck he's getting to two. I don't know how the fuck he's getting to 210.
He's lifting. He's working out. That's what you got to hope that he's doing.
But I just I don't see him getting there.
Listen, one thing I got to say about the criticism of the kid. This kid has been the California High School Player of the Year twice. He's competed every year under the guise of that pressure and always wins. He is a tremendous anticipation thrower and a calm presence in the pocket. That kind of stuff may get you drafted in the 6th round and you become the greatest of all time. The heart. So to Shane's point, you can't carry this torch your whole career and then go to the combine and not throw, Bryce. You got to do it.
Yeah, if you're going to show up there and your people are saying that you're going to be 210, then you better run at 210. Yeah.
I don't even give a shit if he doesn't run a 40. I just want to see you throw. Just throw.
You got to work out at 210. Right. That's Joe is right. If I mean, I don't see legitimately how he's getting there. I mean, because he's people are even saying 190. I don't know how. I don't think he's 190. So now you're putting.
We'll see where he's going to
putting 30 pounds on.
He is the most interesting thing.
Working out the Liver King.
Let me ask you this to spark conversation. Mm-hmm. So Bears hold the first pick. I was asked this today by a Patriots fan. And Caleb Williams is in this draft. Mm-hmm. I'm trading Justin Fields and taking Caleb Williams. That's me, the coach and GM. I have not seen.
But let me push back on that because I asked you that same question about Bryce Young. You said he's better on tape, but then you told me you're not ready to make that decision, but you're ready to make it on Caleb Williams right now?
Caleb Williams does all the things that I want my quarterback to do.
But Bryce Young not?
Bryce Young's size gives you the pause, right?
Well, that's the first time I've heard you say that, though, about the size.
It does. It gives you the pause. I have Caleb Williams higher rated than Bryce Young.
That is why it's so important for you to get assets for next year.
Right.
Because you're covering your bases. Listen, so it doesn't work out with Justin. You're giving yourself ammo to go get him. And you know what? Justin takes the step. Now you can go get the wide receiver, go get Harrison Jr. or whatever, or the top, the offensive lineman from Penn State that'll be up high in the draft next year. You know, that would have been drafted top 10 this year, but
would you take Caleb Williams and trade Fields
right now?
Yeah, if he's in the draft. See, I put my name to it. I just keep it 100.
Would you draft Bryce? You just told me 2 weeks ago that Bryce Young is better on tape. So who are you taking? Put your name to it.
No, Bryce Young is better than Justin Fields was on tape.
So who are you drafting?
In college.
Number one. But right now, if you have the number one pick,
Will Anderson would be my pick, number one.
Would you take Bryce Young over Justin Fields?
I'm not done with Bryce Young.
Put your name to it.
I'm asking you to put your name. You see how he flip-flops everybody?
I'm not flip-flopping. I'm asking you
one question about Caleb Williams. You bring it back to Bryce Young.
Because you want me to put my name to it, but you're not putting your name to it with Bryce Young.
About Caleb Williams.
And I was talking about Bryce Young. He's not in it.
I'll put my name to it. Justin fucking
I agree. There's under no scenario would I ever draft Bryce Young over Justin Fields. Ever.
We know that. So that's why.
Yeah, I would be.
You had the first pick for the first
conversation
time since 1947.
Then you're right there. You are legitimately having the quarterback talk 100%. Yes.
His tape is his college tape is that much better than Justin Fields' college tape.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
most
let me tell you,
collegiate passer
I've
ever.
scouted a long time. Bryce Young is a legitimate talent that makes me pause to say, I got to watch every rep to make this right. Caleb Williams, to me, is like a slam dunk. That is a future Hall of Fame quarterback that someone's getting next year. That's it.
Yeah,
that's my truth. And I said, if I had them both there, I'm sorry. I got to go.
If we make a trade with Indy, they hold a pick for somebody that wants them next year. You know?
Yeah. And you're in.
Jr.
It would be a hold.
It's a good question to ask.
It is.
Based on the Patriot fan asking me it.
No, it is.
I think you got to answer.
You are 100% in the quarterback game if he's in this draft. And Ryan Poles would be doing a disservice if he wasn't 100% considering him.
I'm telling you,
I love Eberflus.
He won the Heisman.
He joins us.
I know. Talk about inside access.
This is great.
When are you coming on, Coach?
Case never, told us he was out. We just knew he was a member, but fucking Eberflus puts his name to it, just like Phil.
I always put my name to it, and I will have that answer on Draft Mob, whether I would take Bryce Young over Justin Fields. I'll tease it. I already know what I would do. I kind of told you.
I do too, but you're pussying out. It's fine.
At least you kind of pussied into saying, yeah, you got to have the conversation.
Yeah, you're asking me to do it to a guy that's not even available in the draft. I'm asking you for a guy that's
to me. There. I answered it. I wanted to. You're the smartest man. I figured you would answer.
Yeah, I guess my classic answer
Coach.
would be I'm not ready to make that decision yet, like you did with Bryce and Justin.
Well,
you know what I'll do? I will tease it and I will announce it on Draft Mob.
There you go. This year or next year?
Good tease, Shane. Well done.
Nice.
This year or next year?
Oh my god.
No, I am not swayed in the least. This is how I'll phrase it. I am not swayed in the least by any of the. I am so happy that we are not in the quarterback market, by my assessment, with these guys this year. Caleb Williams is a different fucking dog completely. Where
there's
no. Do you agree with that
there's
comment,
no.
Phil?
What's that?
Do you agree with that comment?
If
we had Mac Jones, would you be making that trade
for Bryce Young?
I think.
I have Bryce Young over Mac Jones and Justin Fields' college tape.
Yeah.
Looking at Mac Jones and what he was dealing with, a lot of fans don't realize what New England's dealing with on the offensive line is maybe in the same lane as the Bears. So the Mac Jones stuff, if you look at tape, you see beyond the stats. So I still stand by my analysis, and everybody forgets that not only did I like Mac Jones number one, Shane and Cars for the first time always agreed.
I didn't have Mac Jones number one.
You didn't?
No, I didn't even take him number one in our. I had Trevor Lawrence number one.
No, I meant the first time for the Bear. We all agreed.
Oh no, yeah. Jones. Leading up to it, yeah, we were all Mac Jones fans.
I've never had that happen.
I remember back when we had Paige DeMacos on. She's like, guys, he's third round quarterback, and
Mac Jones was.
Yeah, stuff like that, and it's just
we laughed.
Yeah,
we really did.
We never saw that, but yeah, I know. Our back-to-back, our draft this year, our head-to-head when we go back and forth. It's going to be an interesting one this year.
Yeah, we all had Trevor Lawrence number one.
Yeah.
Sorry to confuse that. We were talking about our target for the Bears because we were drafting for the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. It's this time in 2014, there was people experts mocking Aaron Donald in the second round based solely off size. Pitt's got another defensive tackle, the same fucking dimensions, Clancy, this year. And if you look,
he's good.
You look at Mel Kiper Jr., he put out his first mock today out of fucking nowhere. He's got Clancy going number 10 overall to Philly in his mock, number 10.
That's crazy. Let's tap the brakes on anybody with Justin and Mac Jones. It's the same thing. Their stories aren't written. Anyone calling Justin Fields,
nobody's saying, nobody on here is saying.
Nobody's saying that.
Who the fuck said that, Jimmy?
No one, Jimmy.
He's trying to say because you're saying you would.
I think people don't understand.
It's like,
this isn't fantasy football. This is like you got to analyze and talk truth. If it's hard for you, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, if you were the New York Giants and you had Eli Manning and Peyton Manning come out, would you be like, well, we can't fucking take him because we got Eli? No, it's
exactly. And the other thing is,
I'm a huge Justin Fields fan.
This isn't a fan show. Like Jackal and Claudio and Cherie, they're never going to pretend, they're analyzing tape. They come on here, they're part of the
like
show.
George, we're fans.
Exactly.
Just like George.
Which George?
Which that took me a
George
quick
McCaskey.
dude, man.
Oh no.
But when you do the talk, you got to talk. I mean, Justin Fields has a lot to improve on. He's not a finished product. You can't say that in one sentence and say, okay, this quarterback's a bust, that quarterback's a bust, this one's no. Let's just see where these stories go. And listen, I believe the Bears' best move is to trade down to Houston and then trade again to the Colts. If Shane has that whole scenario, then you've covered your ass by signing free agents that are going to cover that defensive front.
I think if you move to number 4, you have to be fully prepared that you're losing out on Will Anderson.
I know that would be hard.
I don't think
you guys were talking about that guy Wilson. Where
they may trade that pick too.
Tyree Wilson.
Yeah, where would you guys want to get?
I don't think he gets past Seattle at 5.
You don't think he gets past? Okay, because I was going to bring this up. This was talked. The CBS Sports or Clay Harbor tweeted this out about the Raiders trading with the Raiders.
Did
you guys see that?
10,000 picks in return.
Oh yeah.
Herb Howard talked about this.
Yeah, he said,
but it didn't include Devontae.
No, there's no Devontae. It says that the Bears get the 7th overall. They're second, third, and 5th this year. 2024 first and third.
This is the same thing as some guy doing a mock draft.
Yeah, so
let's see what it's on the table.
First.
Yeah. Oh no, but that haul, Phil. I mean that they were getting back, but then they fucked it up and they have the Bears drafting Sampson, right?
Simpson, yeah, Trenton
Simpson. Yeah, Simpson. Yeah. And
what the fuck are we doing?
But for that, so you're getting a first, second, and third.
And
then
5th this year.
And a 5th, and then first.
Next year,
Will
first and
Anderson.
3rd. And then 2025, first and 4th.
Yeah, that's
a lot.
That's a massive haul. Massive.
And do you think at 7 there's any way that dude Wilson may? Or, I mean, who do you take at 7 if Carter, Anderson, or Wilson are gone? Who you guys?
Well, that's for the draft mob.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. Come on.
Tune in.
Yeah,
to the draft mob and find out that answer.
Analysis. Listen, you pick the fucking first round of the draft with trades correctly, I'll give you fucking 3 mortgage payments. Because just like Jackal just said, Arizona could fucking trade out of number 3. Nobody fucking knows shit about what's going on. That shit could go down crazy. Right on the fucking...
Everybody at this time last year, all the way until the week of the draft, when you were mocking number 1 to Jacksonville, it was Aiden Hutchinson.
Yep.
Everybody had Hutchinson going number one. Then you go back to the Clowney and Reggie Bush draft. Everybody had Houston. Done deal. Reggie Bush going number 1. Night before the draft, fucking Clowney signed the deal, I believe. Signed the fucking contract.
It leaked out, right?
Yeah. Well, you can negotiate.
Clowney's a free.
If you're the 1 pick, right?
If you're number 1, Yep. But the NFL frowns upon it because they don't, they want the
hype of the draft,
the drama, and it's like I said, this is the radar is on Ryan Poles' forehead, Kevin Warren's forehead, and Matt Eberflus's forehead, Justin Fields' forehead. They're aiming it down. It's even on Bryce Young's forehead.
Let me ask you guys a question with respects to Ryan Poles' forehead. When do you see him making?
Oh yeah, right.
Trade?
Yeah, my bad. Mario Williams, not Clowney. Yep, I fucked that one up.
Good call. When would you see Poles make? Do you think a lot closer to the draft, or do you think he's going to try to get that first deal done? So if he wants to make another trade, he has a little bit of time to.
No, I think it'll be. Philly and them. Theirs was a couple of weeks out. That's probably a little bit early. I think it goes real close to
the draft. Okay,
closer to the draft, huh?
Yeah.
If I'm sitting there draft night again and we got a trade, we got another trade, it's gonna be crazy.
Oh, I think it'll be done. I think it'll be done before the Bears are on the clock.
So you think the night before?
You have to use Houston and Indy against each other, and then you have to hope that Carolina or even you'd have to throw the Jets in there if they're getting back into the quarterback game. You have to me, Carolina is a complete wild card.
Same with Seattle.
Seattle's got 5-20, so that's interesting.
Exactly.
But they're so fucking weird. That franchise. I mean, I could see them.
They're not afraid to trade.
No, they're not afraid to trade.
Are
but they're
they
not
hitching their
They're not
wagons
afraid
to Geno
to.
Smith?
They're
Came
not
out today. They were going to look to sign him.
Oh no, I think that they will.
For
But
a year
I
or
can
two.
also see it. I can also
deal.
see a guy like Anthony Richardson go in there.
That's a good call.
And they can buy time with Geno and let him learn. But Seattle's they don't have a draft board like anybody else. They draft dudes. You may have a guy in the 5th round, and they'll draft him.
They hit a home run with that corner, man. Remember, he blew up the combine, ran a 4.2. He's like 6'3". That kid's a good. Again, they take chances. That's a franchise that never puts politics first. They always put performance there.
Yeah.
So except for in the Super Bowl, but
Yeah.
They just made a bad call. Imagine living that fucking call for the rest of your life, calling a fucking slant.
Couldn't believe it when it happened.
I go, you're throwing?
Yeah.
But again, these fucking coaches do this week in and week out. They do it even in these playoff games, which, by the way, have been tremendous. I've been so jealous watching it. Every fucking Kittle catch just fucking scratches me down my spine.
Don't you remember all the years?
Oh my God.
Don't you remember all the years Lovey would say, we get off the bus running and stuff like, and then the Bears would come out and Brian Greasy would throw 53 passes. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, we told everybody we're going to run the football.
Gotcha.
But yeah, exactly. That was the Bears' philosophy. Adam Hogue or John Greenberg was on Hogan Johns talking about the Bears, pre-Warren under Ted Phillips and stuff. And when the Bears were trying to make some strides, they had people come in to Hallis Hall and we're just talking about simple stuff like billboards with your logo on it and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, we don't need to do that. We're the Bears. Our season tickets are sold out. And they're like, what? The fucking just little things like that shows you how completely lost the franchise was. And I mean, it's now you're taking a step forward into,
how many billboards can we
Remember the 27-year-old version of Kevin Warren when he was negotiating? And what was that?
I am so excited about Kevin Warren being there. And I think that he is, to Shane's point there, Shane will recognize a fucking light switch wrong.
It was an outlet cover.
And he'll it. And if you recognize David Warren Kevin Warren's speech.
Man, these fucking names tonight.
Damn, bro.
I just saw David on the thing. Kevin Warren's speech, he talked about the little things being so important.
Yeah.
So important. You can't just live off the fact that you got money coming in hand over fist. You have to fucking do something. We've said it, you're the charter franchise, $1 billion right now, what, $5.7 billion, 5.4. You gotta fucking worry about all the intricate details of football first, and everything else comes with it. I think you got the right guy there, and I think he'll be. I saw the question he started. It was,
so here's
someone asked a good question. It was
this
Jimmy.
is off topic just a little bit real quick. Albert Breer sent out a tweet and says the Panthers' second interview with their interim coach Steve Wilkes took place last night, I'm told. Also, do not discount Cowboys offensive coordinator Kellen Moore here. He's not out of the race in Carolina coming down the home stretch. So, yikes.
Good luck.
Yeah, you get Kellen Moore in there, that screams from the fucking mountaintops that it's quarterback or bust.
Absolutely.
So, I'm telling you, don't forget about Carolina going rogue and being like, we have all these assets, we'll trade you, and yeah.
I believe you keep what you have right now as the new president coming in, and you assess it.
It'd be really
100%.
Imagine coming in and you're Kevin Warren, and your first order of business is to launch the GM and head coach so you can set Justin Fields up to have his third head coach in 3 years. That's career suicide and really, really dumb.
Yeah, you gotta sit and assess what is going on now and what you have there, and you recognize and you help build it. If there's something wrong, you kind of advise and how to fix it and be a part of it. You can't just sit back and judge them. You got to help them. I'm totally believing that this is the guy that's going to do that.
And if it doesn't work, I mean, if the Bears go out and struggle the next 2 years, then Kevin, that's going to be first order of business. Let's be honest.
If Olin feels like Warren and Poles won't jive, then Warren is the guy to get him the hell out of here. Then that's what you got to do.
What is that? What's that based on?
I don't know, but we're just commenting. If they don't, then Warren has to pull the trigger.
But I mean, I don't know. I listened to Jason Leisure talk today, and he's like, I listened to Ryan Poles talk, and it's pretty obvious his nature by default is to be extremely conservative. And I'm like, if he was on this show, I'd be like, so the guy that traded Khalil Mack, that traded Roquan Smith, that traded for Chase Claypool, that stripped everything down, that's
traded Roquan, and
that's being conservative. I mean, what the fuck is it? What the fuck is it? Everybody was screaming for a wide receiver in the draft last year, and he stayed true to his fucking board and gave everybody the big fuck you and drafted 2 DBs. What has shown you that he's ultra conservative by nature? What has shown you that?
I don't see it
because he's
agreeing with you.
Soft-spoken. I'm not trying to call Olin out, but I mean, he doesn't think that Kevin Warren and Poles mesh. But what is that? What's that?
I'll have to ask him.
Yeah,
we'll have to ask him when he comes on. I think maybe I'm just filling in the blank that Kevin Warren is a guy that's like no politics, and I did see some politics.
Ben, we wouldn't even be talking. It's the fucking off season. Everything's a hypothetical. There's no facts.
Listen, we can't
Fuck
on the
it, can't
show
talk about the draft.
Hang in there, Ben. We got
I
some
don't
time
think
on
It's
our
a long
hands.
way to go.
We spent 2 hours and 44 minutes with no script or direction. There hasn't even been a segment tonight. Jackal didn't do shit. Segment still exists, but in an invisible state. It didn't even do shit tonight.
There you go. That's some
No,
stuff
you
right
did pull the
Got some
McAfee
stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
Not the Mac.
dude, that
You
dude
did
AJ
have-
Hawk bit off your background, bro. What the
No,
fuck?
I bit off this, man.
I know.
He told me where to buy that shit. $8 on Amazon.
Listen, we said a lot tonight, and what an incredible guest, Darrynton Evans. As we get, this has been like just a little, for me anyway, just to clear my head of what I would consider an unsuccessful season that has led to an opportunity to turn it around. How people view things is up to you. That's how I would rule season 1 under Poles and Eberflus. Unsuccessful. D plus in that area. How they turn this around is on them now. And maybe they needed to do what they did, and you're on that end, so you think it's a successful. They got rid of all this stuff, and now they have this. You might think that. To me, football has always been, for lack of a better term, Lombardi said it, so Packer hate will thrive here. It's all about winning. It's the only thing that matters is winning. And that should be the culture. And I think getting rid of Ted Phillips has been an A+ for the offseason. Getting Kevin Warren, A+. Getting the first pick in the draft and $165 million, that should be cooking with gas.
Thank you,
right
Lovey.
now we got to see, Lovey Smith giving back to the Bear. Now we got to see how they do it. And I believe your goal is to be in the playoffs next year. That's it. If you don't get there, you're doing. Ted Phillips hung on. It wasn't George. It was Ted that hung on to Matt Nagy 2 years too long. Mark Trestman, a year too long. John Fox, he was the reason they hired John Fox. So don't give me that Ted Phillips, Adam John's talking like I don't think he,
That
Ted Phillips.
was Danny Parkins saying that
He was saying about the president, but I heard Adam John say, I don't believe Ted Phillips' position had much. What?
Of course it does. Of course it does. Yeah,
It's just silly.
It's just silly. Got to be better than that.
Look what Ted Phillips did to this poor guy.
It was fucking a guy when I was like doing a little deep dive into that shit. He was, he fucking hurt me significantly,
Looked like Brasher fucking edited that shit. Fucking jerks. Hey, man. Sometimes things happen, You can't win them all.
Are you feeling better, though, Jackal? Are you still hurt?
Sore.
Significantly. The best part to me is he hurt me significantly. It's the fucking mic drop for the whole clip. He hurt me significantly.
He hurt the way he puts periods after each word.
Yeah.
He hurt me.
Let's just run it again real quick. So everybody
was fucking a guy when I was like doing a little deep dive into that shit. He was, he fucking hurt me significantly,
So demoralized. Oh my god.
Oh, I love you, Jackal.
Nobody's
a few of those this year, Claudio.
I know.
Hey.
Oh, next season.
It's not back yet.
No.
So
man, I fucked up. But I fucked up.
Shout out Tape Never Lies. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. From the fans in the stands to the follows on the gram. Thanks for your support, showing love in the DM. We stay Spencer strong, fight together till the end. Now it's time to shout out worldwide friends and fam. Like
the network that keeps it real, 100 crew. So many in the world that I gotta show love to. For some this part, see the show is at its end. But for me it's so important to thank the charter members and the fans. Built the network, speak the truth through the tape. Never run around the truth, no narratives we create. Set them straight, no bubble screen on 4th and 8. Audio Jane getting nervous cause keeping them up too late. That's it, no more to say they get the shot of vital. But hurry up cause the postman's getting homicidal.
Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too.
The network that keeps it real. Sense is strong.
I'm just a fan. I'm not a football evaluator.
There we go.
Yes.
He isn't. Maybe they hired themselves a president and CEO that has taken over for an accountant and a guy that's a fan. Now you got a business, a professional businessman with a football background, basketball, and athletic mindset that I think is going to be a huge difference for the Chicago Bears. Cherie, that leads me to you. If you've heard all the rain in the background, that's been my house.
It's fucking coming down, man.
Coming down.
Yeah.
Niblets of rain drops falling. Cherie, do you have any shout outs?
Of course I do. So definitely want to just kind of keep in line with for all of you patrons that know what went out, the messages that went out today with Alex H and his company. So shout out to him and them supporting mental health awareness. But it really did get me to thinking about having good support systems and making sure you surround yourself. Phil, as your dad always say, make sure you surround yourself with good people. And I know I am by myself. I live alone. I do a lot of things alone, but I have never felt lonely because I do have a good support system, and that includes you guys. Is being able to have people that if I just need to talk to, even whether it's good or bad, if I'm excited about something, having friends that I can share that with. So I do appreciate you guys for always being a good support system for me, along with my family and my friends and loved ones. So that my support system does include you guys, and I appreciate everything you guys do for me, being there for me. So just want to send my shout outs to you guys and share that love with you. And like I said, shout out to Alex H for, bringing awareness to mental health.
As long as Cherie's happy, I'm happy.
That's right, Thomas.
That'll fix you mentally real quick right there, won't it, Cherie?
Every time you play that clip, her smile is like the biggest smile. Yeah. I love it. It's the best.
I love Cherie's mom.
Mom smile does the same thing.
That was beautiful, Cherie.
The whole family smiling now. Did we want to give that phone number out or no?
Yeah, I don't know if he wants it on this forum. We did it with the
only
patrons.
in the patron. Okay.
Yeah, I don't even run.
Could you hear me?
Trying. Will Smith keeps.
Don't need somebody named Barf having people's phone numbers.
Yeah.
Ralph is
Ralph.
also a slang for barfing. Did you know that?
Yeah, Ralphing and barfing.
Yeah. I think that's the name.
That's the whole point.
That's the whole point. Greg Braggs was trying to tell me this theory.
Oh, wow. Nobody likes Braggs. No, we didn't do the drop.
Angelo, do you remember Greg Braggs?
No.
Holy shit.
No.
No.
Great shout outs, Cherie. Great stuff there. Claudio the Barber of Seville.
Yes, I will shout out, obviously, you guys. It's always fun. Everybody in the chat, all the normal guys, the guys that are on there all the time. HL Priest, everybody on there. John Santino, T. Aaron, Shannon Green, Keys guys, new person on, Heidi Yerbik, and PJ. Shout you out. We'll shout out Ivan. I hope Ivan's feeling better. That's why he's not on, everybody. He's just feeling under the weather tonight.
There you go. Bro,
shout out Ivan.
Good job.
Yep. Shout out Bratcher. Hope you're doing your thing. You know, people in the chat are asking about them. So, and shout out to Matt Eberflus, Alan Williams, and Luke Getzey. They were all watching our show tonight.
A little too much parody account, so come on.
Yeah. The Cody
Got a little
Parkey.
crazy. Cody Parkey. See you later.
Cody, yeah. So,
Jump
all
the
right.
shark with Parky. Right?
There you go. You felt great.
Yeah,
great.
what Parky came on, that's it.
Yeah, see ya.
You got it.
Set of luck.
And shout out to Will Smith. There you go.
Keep,
There you go. Shout out to Will Smith.
keep Will Smith's wife out your mouth.
Oh, beautiful.
That's it. That's you, Jackal.
That was
Jackal,
perfect.
do you have
Well,
any shout outs?
I do. I just piggybacking Cherie. I think that is well said. I think one of the things, reaching out to someone when you're thinking, when you're thinking about them, let them know you're actually doing that. I think it's always nice to hear from somebody that you haven't heard from in a while. So I think it's always a good thing to do, to be, just, you never know what someone's going through on the other end, and it goes both ways. So, if you're having a hard time, maybe reach out to someone you haven't talked to in a while and go from there. But I'm going to give a shout out to my little man Conrad. He broke his arm on Friday playing soccer. Hey, soccer's a physical sport. He made a nice play on defense and snapped his radius bone, and so he's hoping to get a cast next Monday. He's all swelled up, but he's up here sleeping like a log. He's fine, doing drills still, home with a fucking soft cast like a maniac. But shout out to my little man, fucking doing his thing. So yeah, that's about
Then
it.
let me do what I hired to do.
What bone did he break, Jackal?
The radius.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What bone?
Whoopsie.
Boom, 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 boom. I've been telling Cool Kennedy I just want to make a song with that piano. Ready? Cool Kennedy, if you're listening. Just this. Ready? Dun 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 dun. There's your job.
There you go.
Beat with just that piano riff right there. Shane Marsaw.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Keep it simple, stupid. Shout out you guys. Shout out Jackal's little man. I didn't know that he broke his arm. That sucks.
Yeah, it happened Friday night in an indoor soccer game, and yeah, just been a lot of fun fucking dealing
Tried
with
to
that
play
nonsense.
Mbappe over there.
Yeah, oh no, he laid some kid out. The kid was a little bigger than him, and he went. Momentum was bringing him the wrong way, and he just tried to brace his fall. And
I saw the pictures of his arm.
Yeah, it showed Phil.
Swollen. Kid's are tough. Kid's hair is redder than a highlighter pencil.
Yeah, motherfucker's a straight up ginger.
He's
Yeah.
got some
Blame
gin.
that on the mailman.
Ain't that the truth? I think it was fucking Amazon, bro.
Man, how many kids you got out there then, Shane? Holy shit.
Good thing your jurisdiction's up north.
I make them all happy, bro.
Shane's always
You deliver that shit. You deliver that shit in the box real good.
Hey, I lick the stamps and there's all self-stick still there, Claudio.
Keeping them moist, he said. There
That's
it
right.
is.
Keeping them moist, as Cherie says.
I can only imagine the smells coming out of that thing, but
Oh, Jesus.
see you, coach.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable. Any other shout out, Shane? That's
No, it's going to be a big off season for us. I'm looking forward to it. If you're not a patron, you're losing out. Head over to the tapeneverlies.com, sign up immediately. you will not be upset. We're going to be doing comprehensive breakdowns on all of these prospects, including free agency signings. Phil, myself, and Cars when he's available. Ivan's going to be there in the background. Shout out to Ivan Vargas, not feeling well tonight.
Yeah. Our guy.
Yeah, our dude. He said he's going to try to make it in, but get better. Cherie, was it last week you were sick, or was that 2 weeks ago? Last week. So yeah, got a little bit of that shit going around and stuff. So we need everybody healthy and ready to go as we attack this off season. So it's gonna be a fun one, man. Can't wait. We deserve it. Hopefully we can have the Bears have traded up moment again.
Back twice.
Yeah. We don't want them going up.
Will Anderson.
There's hope, guys.
There is hope again. TTNL keeping it 100. Want to shout out Darrynton Evans.
Yes.
Running back, Chicago Bears, jumping on the show, keeping it 100 tonight. If you missed that interview, you're going to want to go check that out. If you're listening on the podcast, check out some of the facial expressions of Darrynton.
Oh, yeah.
You know that he's keeping it 100. He's thinking about who that player was, Shane. His eyes got bigger. And Steve Urkel. Oh, man. I also want to shout out Ivan Vargas, like you guys. Love him. Hopefully he feels better. There's a time and a place, I guess, a lot of sickness going around, so be careful out there. Do your due diligence to be proactive, not reactive. Shout out to Jackal and his son. I also want to shout out my sons. They're going to be 9 years old this weekend. So Tate and Dev's birthday is coming up. I can't believe it's been 9 years. Tate wants a Justin Fields Army, like the Army fatigue jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that one?
Did you order it?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
That's what he
Tough
thinks.
to find that jersey. What's that?
No, I said, you said, yeah, I did. And I'm like, wait, that's what he thinks. So.
And Devin wanted a Darnell Mooney jersey, Claudio. Mooney.
Oh, boy.
Wants
Said
to
Uncle
wear-
Claudio back.
And he said, like, Uncle Claudio likes Darnell Mooney. Yeah, Steph and I took care of that. Anyway. So shout out to them. Shout out to all you fans that keep it 100 on Wednesday nights. Ben Ricketts, you really were a standout tonight in the chat. John Santino, Coach Eberflus, I appreciate you. Bullets, my guy.
Yes, Bullets.
Coach Dre, Jose Torres wearing a TTNL hat, Shane.
Yeah, I did. I saw that.
TTNLswag.com. We're still keeping the TTNL 20% discount all the way in the month of January. So you got a few more days. Get over there, get some swag. Yep, January 28th. Look at you. Uncle Bullets. Willie Mookie Hill. Will Mookie Hill. Shout out you, because Cherie didn't. But I'm going to shout you.
Spelled their name wrong, dude.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Fucking amateur hour over here. What the fuck is going on, Will?
Can't believe it. Disregard my shout out to Will.
Thank you, Phil. Fucking a guy when I was like doing a little deep dive into that shit. He was, he fucking hurt me significantly, He fucking hurt me significantly,
Hi, there you go. Yep, I like it. Hi.
Oh boy.
I'm shouting out Chris Sorge,
Pringle can.
the Bears, for making the move. Having a new president. I'm so excited. The collaboration is over, that we got a president that's going to oversee this and make some moves that are intellectually football first. Shout out to all of you guys, my partner in crime, Shane Marsaw, for all of the things that you do. getting a great guest in Darrynton Evans tonight. That was a lot of fun. Next week, we will have the infamous Courtney Cronin on the show talking Bears. And if Courtney sent you a follow on Instagram, that's a fake account. She wanted me to let you guys know. Someone made a fake account of her on Instagram. And I'm like, what the hell is this?
I mean, she's made it, right?
Well, she's made it. We'll talk about that next week with her, the Bears, the new president.
Did Jackals secure the 15th?
I'm waiting on her. I'm waiting on a response. I should have probably checked my email while we were doing this, so I apologize. But
fuck yourself.
I deserve that. But he's coming on. He will be coming on.
All right, so announce it. Let her rip.
Got Dan Wiederer coming back to join us, talking
ball with
Shane
us in
February.
Wiederer.
We're trying to lock in a date, but he's looking forward to come back and chop it up with the gang.
The Shane Wiederer debate.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's going to be
working on some other guys too, and gals.
Get some other guests. If you have a guest that you want on the show, reach out to Ivan.
Yeah, start your own fucking podcast, right? Oh, that was
I can't wait for them to start their podcast. I'm going to end it with a shout out to Cool Kennedy for producing this video. Cool Kennedy is going to start doing some TTNL rewinds that we'll put on our YouTube channel to give some fans some of a taste of whatever show it was. He put this together, and I'm going to shout out Herb Howard. We'll end the show with this, Shane.
Unless that dragon was fucking a goat.
That one? Good
Not
job.
that one. Shout out Bratcher. I miss him. Hopefully he's doing well. I'm sure he'll be back soon. He's taking a little sabbatical.
He's over in India, believe it or not, doing ayahuasca.
Yep. They outsourced him to India. So if you call like DirecTV, Bratcher might pick up.
Right. But that is a true story about Bratcher. He is in India.
Send him a shout out. Hopefully, I can't wait till he returns. And we'll see you guys next week here on TTNL with Courtney Cronin. Sign up, get some swag, send the pics over. When you get a swag, send it over to any of the TTNL family to get it over to us. We're going to be putting together something for the off season. You want a hoodie, hat, Claudio the Barber t-shirt that Acevedo slept on for months.
Yo,
all the way around.
Just all the way around the whole shirt.
All the way around the whole shirt. All right, for all of us here at TTNL, we'll see you guys next week. Keep it locked in. If you're a patron, lock in your patron channel and updates because the off season's about to kick off. We'll see you next week here on the best Chicago Bears show on the planet. TTNL's Keepin' It 100. That being said, let's send it to our guest shout out. Do you have anybody to shout out?
Nah, man, I just want to say thanks to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for having me on. Shout out to y'all for continuing to build this dope network and the literal network of people within it and around it, fans across the world, and players and reporters and everybody else within it. Y'all do a phenomenal job. Just shout out to y'all for what y'all have built and how y'all continue to build it. It's a marvel to watch, and I appreciate whenever y'all have me on.
Somebody clip that. Listen, I can be honest and say I get jealous. I wish I was there to ask some questions and hold people accountable. But knowing that you're there and some of the
Phil
other
already. Larry, shut the fuck up.
That definitely would happen. I can see myself. You gotta be kidding.